CoCoTALK is an unscripted live broadcast. Anything can and will happen. The views and opinions expressed by members of the panel and the live audience are their own and not necessarily those of the CoCoTALK show, its sponsors, affiliates, or subsidiaries. Open minds encouraged, sense of humor recommended. If any off-color comments were made, we're sorry.
Hi, this is Dale Lear, designer of TRS 80 Color Baseball, and you're listening to CoCoTALK.
This is CoCoTALK, the world's leading live talk show featuring the Tandy Color computer. It's time to drop your socks and grab your real-time clocks, and let's rock.
CoCoTALK is rocking the 8-bit world, keeping the Tandy flame alive. We may be mocked, but we'll never stop, cause CoCoTALK is rocking the 8-bit world.
All right, everybody, we're here. We are with you on episode 141, the first episode of the new century of 2020. And this week, we are going to celebrate our community. Is it a new century? Decade, it's something like that.
World, keeping the Tandy flame alive. We may be mocked, but we'll never stop, cause CoCoTALK is rocking the 8-bit world.
That's right, we're here. It's a new century or something. We got a great panel.
And to be factually accurate.
Yes.
It's more of a factoid.
Oh, if you want to be factually accurate, it's not a new decade.
Yes. We've got a great
Technically.
panel. Hopefully we'll have a decent show for you. We have actually a special theme this week, but let's go ahead and jump in and introduce our panel as we have it now, and it could change. But we have got Mark D. Overholzer. Welcome, Mark.
Hey, thank you. Thank you very much. Glad to be here. And hey, it's a wonderful year so far. Of course, it's only 4 days old.
Ron Delvo is with us. Hey, Ron. He's muted, but we love him.
Yeah.
All right, he's still muted. There you go. Ron Delvo
didn't want to add to the crosstalk.
Mark Bosley's in the house. Hello, Mark.
Hello, everybody.
We've got a guy with multiple personalities here, Nick Moroda. Nick Moroda's in the house. Hey, Nick.
Hey, hello. How are you?
Right, from
That's
Canada.
me 3 times.
Bob and
Curtis
Weave.
Boyle. Hey, Curtis.
Hello, everyone.
Paul T. Barton from Barton
Hello.
Laboratories is here. Hey, Paul.
Hey, how you doing?
Very good. Thanks for joining us on this special occasion. John
Sure.
Lowry is here. Hey, John.
Howdy doody. Hey, everybody.
Jason, the Coco Man Reichard. Thanks for being here, Jason.
Howdy, howdy. Century, new century, not included.
Yeah, the guy who's making Digger 3 for us, Chet Simpson's in the house.
Everybody.
Bigger.
We've barely met our minimum Australian quota right now, but David O'Connor is here helping us out there. Thanks, David.
Hey, everybody. It's good to be here again for the first show of this millennium.
Right. We don't get our tax incentives without representation from all the various continents. So, thanks for helping us out this week. Speaking of another continent or something like that, it's you are gay, you are guay. Diego Barrizo is here. What's going on, Diego?
Hi, everybody. How are you doing, guys?
Thanks.
Hey, Diego.
And what time is it for
Hey.
you? You're like in the future too, aren't you?
A little bit, yeah. It's 4 o'clock, so now.
Oh, okay.
Not really.
Okay. We've got from not necessarily another continent, but possibly another planet or alternate reality. David Ladd's with us. Hey, David.
Good day, everyone. I hope you're ready for today's show, because I certainly am. Don't look like that, Jason. I'm not even begun to scare people. It's rocking.
Now
I think David
again,
comes from
this
the planet
time
of
with-
overenthusiastic geeks. That's where I think he's from.
Now, David, let's try that again, but this time with more feeling.
Just don't encourage him.
where they honor the grease weasel.
Yes. And I think he's muted, but he's here. He'll probably join us in a while. Terry Steggy's here, sporting a nice poster down there. All right. So just to let you know, the main topic of today's show is we are going to try to celebrate the community with a little presentation of recognizing members of the community. We did put out a call to action to help us identify and compile and gather the names of the hundreds of thousands of people. And we've probably done, a reasonable job on capturing some of them. The good problem that we have is there's so many people doing so many things that it's nearly impossible to remember them all and recognize them all, but we'll do our best to get as many as we can. I just checked the Facebook group. We're just shy of 3,000 members in the Facebook group as of this morning, which is insane, right? So on that note, before we get into the main segment of community celebration, we're going to do that thing that we do with L. Curtis Boyle, and we're going to go ahead and cover, I guess I need to stop sharing too in a second, but we're going to go ahead and do some news. So here's our intro, courtesy of Rob Inman. It's time for CoCo News with your host and anchor, L. Curtis Boyle. And
here I thought I was going to share nap time. Sorry. I'm totally
Take it away, L. Curtis Boyle.
Okay, now I just got to figure out which desktop I want here.
Now I'm really confused. I think this is the right news file, except the file name is misstated, and so is the head.
Oh, yeah, I probably didn't change that. I kind of rushed it because I was over helping Mom this morning. So
okay, starting Brian Schubring. Okay, looks good.
Right one? Okay.
Yep.
Hey, first up, Brian Schubring, the music man, who is semi-regular on our panel here, has made the official announcement that the new run of MIDI packs for the CoCo will, in fact, be made. And I know David O'Connor and a few other people have been quite interested in this. So he's got some details there.
Yeah.
Now, have you been talking with Brian at all, David? Like, has he given any more details since this initial posting from December 28th?
No specific details on the MIDI pack. We've sort of talked a little bit sort of loosely about it, but yeah, I've just voiced my enthusiasm for it, especially with the new project. So yeah, I have nothing really to add technically, I suppose.
Okay. And for those that don't know, I mean, you can do MIDI out the Bitbanger port. It does tax the computer quite a bit. This is actually one that has all three ports, MIDI in, MIDI out, and MIDI through. And there's some fairly professional software that was done back in the late 80s, early 90s that uses it, like Ultimuse and a few other things. So if you have MIDI synths and you want to write music on a CoCo itself, this is definitely the hardware pack to get. If you want to run it with a disk drive or a hard drive or an SDC, you'll probably need a multi-pack or at least a Y cable to run it. But
very cool. Now just another quick dumb question. MIDI is basically a serial port. You mentioned that it's intensive to do it over the Bitbanger. Is there any hardware assist to do it on this way, or is this just a better serial port and it's still CPU intensive?
This is a real serial port, so you actually write a whole byte at a time. On the Bitbanger, you got to write every single bit out individually and then time it at 32,500 baud. Okay. So this is basically like an RS-232 pack, but changed for the special baud rate MIDI uses, but you get to do a whole byte at a time. So your computer's doing 8 times less work, basically.
Yeah, okay. MIDI's the operating frequency of MIDI is actually 31.25 kilohertz.
Yeah,
so
I said 32.5 for some reason. Don't ask me why.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I was just emphasizing the point that it's very fast.
When you get to the point of actually doing these here, maybe we can do a demo with Ultimuse or something like that to actually show people kind of what it's capable of doing there, David, since you actually have a fair bit of experience with that, and Brian probably could too, and maybe a few others.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very absolutely. Cool. Set up a couple of synthesizers and actually do a live demo like we did last time, but using the MIDI pack. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Hey, so we'll look forward to that in the future once they're actually released. Now, this was an interesting one here. Carlos Camacho actually posted up that he'd found the patent filing for the case for the CoCo 1, and then the name it was filed under was a Bernard A. Gray, Grae, if I spelled that right. I've never seen this before. I've never heard of that name before. I don't think it's even mentioned in the CoCo book that Boise and Bill did. So had anybody else heard about this? And does anybody know if this was, he also designed like in the later CoCo 2, CoCo 3 stuff? I know he did some of the TRS-80s before this.
I don't ever remember hearing about anything specific to the case design of the CoCo 1.
he seemed like he's designed some
No,
other
me either.
things too, though.
Yeah.
I did a little research on him, and he designed some other items too, different products. Completely unrelated to the color computer.
Okay, so you're just a general designer, not specifically computer related then.
Right.
Was he?
That'd be interesting. If he's
a
still
designer-
around, it'd be interesting to interview him, I think, to see, why did he choose certain ways of doing things, etc.
Since the Greenthumb terminal had the same design, it was probably, way predated the whole CoCo.
Yeah, that's true.
Even the video text.
Was he a
as
general designer for different companies, or was he specific to Tandy? Or
John, do you know?
I didn't do that much research on him. I'm looking some stuff up on him now to see if I can find anything. But I read something about him designing products back in '47, so he's probably not around, or if he is, he's pretty old.
Just real quick, I want to throw this out there too. Speaking of designers, and somebody we just lost recently, but Sid Mead, who did the design work for most of the stuff we saw in the movie Tron and Blade Runner, so he was kind of a futurist. He recently just passed too, so you guys just made me think about that. So
same week as Chuck Peddle, actually.
Yeah. Cool stuff though. These are neat things to find. It just you think we've heard it all, seen it all, learned it all, but we always unearth some new artifact as time goes on. So it's really cool.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
You had another comment, David, or?
No, I was just in agreement.
Okay. Okay, next up. Paul Thayer, he had posted a disk image a while ago about putting all 64 colors on the screen so you could see, what the different shades are for RGB and what the different shades are for composite if you're designing a game or any graphics interface type thing. But he was having a little bit of flickering and stuff, and that's usually due to the timing when you're changing your palette registers. If you do it in the middle of a scan line, you'll get this little glitch that the gimme throws out. So you have to time it to be in an H-sync blank area or a V-sync blank area. So we uploaded a fixed one now that is flicker-free on the real hardware. And the one thing to note here is if you're running emulators, that flicker doesn't happen. Like VCC and MAME, neither one of them will do that correctly. So if you're writing software on an emulator and you're changing palettes midstream, get more than 16 colors on the screen at once, you could be causing all kind of flickery, dots and stuff appearing all over the screen, but not know it if you're only dealing with the emulator. So it's always good to test with real hardware. But anyway, he's got the fixed one up here. If you guys want to, grab it, it'll display all 64 colors on the screen at once. You can kind of go through one you like, and then you can also do your RGB versus composite because you can just switch the mode and then pick colors that match as close as possible, or maybe you can come up with an alternate set for the.
I think wasn't it Rick Adams and Dale Lear had done one of these for the Rainbow way back in the day too, when the CoCo 3 first came out, because nobody knew what the colors were. And I think in the book, it even had like a little chart with little lines that you could fill in the blank and what you wanted to call the colors to name them yourselves, which is the stupidest thing if you ever think about
exactly.
it. So that is
the only ones that everybody agreed on was like gray, black, and white.
Blue, sky blue,
ultramarine
navy blue.
Windows death screen blue. I mean, there's just a bunch of them. So
black, less black, lesser black.
I do know the one you're talking about, Stevie, was back from I think the October '86 Rainbow.
Yeah,
but that one actually did have some glitches on the screen because people hadn't quite learned that palette timing.
The sparklies, or was it just timing?
I can't remember if it's like glitched, like live, where the dots flickered on off, or if it just had a couple extra dots on the screen that weren't supposed to be there. Anyway, this was a nice clean one. So the next three stories here all in a row are Trey Tomes, I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name.
Yes.
Who's rapidly learning 6 and 9 assembly language and how the gimme works. And he's doing a blog for his roguelike game. He's got a lot of working code and some screenshots of his multi-windowed view here. So this is kind of the layout he's doing.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Which we've kind of shown before.
Yeah, that's cool.
In this case, he was learning how the palettes on the hardware text screen work and the attributes and stuff, so we could actually get the different colors setup that he wanted to do.
You notice he's got the latest version of VCC right now with the
201E.
Yes, Echo. Okay.
And fiddling there, that's when he finally figured out how to get black to work properly. And then he's using a palette called Dawnbringer. It's a 16 color palette that's supposed to be a pretty good standard for some types of games.
Okay.
And there's a later screenshot where it's actually starting to draw the walls and stuff and doors and hunger status in the corner.
Neat. So it's going to be kind of a windowed version of Rogue with on-screen stats on the right-hand side, and then maybe a little status bar in the bottom, like you've just been hit by a monster, or you found a treasure, or something like that. Now that's cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Scroll back up to that picture real quick too, because there's the color palette. Yeah.
Go back this one first.
Yeah, like that little picture there with, this text-based drawings. I just remember some of my earliest memories of playing computer games where things literally were just made in text. And especially like your classic text adventures or, ASCII graphics. But there was a time when we had to use our imagination, and sometimes that was more powerful. It was like what the computer couldn't do and what we augmented it with our own imaginations made the experience still pretty cool, so to see these kind of layouts just kind of takes you back to the time where, all we saw was an asterisk on the screen and we were happy,
The original augmented reality.
Yeah.
People say the same sort of thing about reading a book versus watching a movie.
Yeah.
The book is, you got to use your mind in the book when you're reading the book.
Yeah. You get to picture your world the way you want to hear it or see it, as opposed to how some director decided it's going to be.
Yeah.
I remember before I got into CoCo's in the early 80s, on the old Z80 or Z80, as you guys pronounce it, based systems that I was running, Dick Smith System 80 and MicroB. It was all our graphics, everything, like you're saying, it was all done with ASCII.
Mm-hmm.
It was really
right.
Yeah. Nick Marentes were here. We talk about that because he did some of the games back in the day for the Model 1 using the 128 by 48 black and white graphic blocks.
Yeah.
I think Nick is here. He's
Yep. Yeah.
Hey, Nick.
Hey, Nick.
There we go.
Good of you to finally show up, Nick. hi.
Yeah, just you mean wake up?
Crikey.
Yeah. He had to get through all the bushfires first to get here.
Yeah. Anyway, we're talking about Paul Thayer's color demo here. This actually is a screenshot of it in an
all
emulator.
64 colors. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, like as you get towards the bottom, it becomes like shades of pastel. It's just like.
Now this one here, I can recognize. This is the composite video set.
Because
basically the way composite works, you get 16 basic hues, 0 through 15, and then you add more white basically to each of the colors. So you get blocks of 16.
Lighter.
Gets lighter, yeah. Which is completely different than how RGB does it. And CoCo's one of the few computers that actually made them completely different, except a PAL. PAL in Australia, I think you guys are composite and your RGB is the same color set, is it not?
Yeah. Well, we still have the same gimme chip, so it's internally it's still creating that NTSC composite, but they're disconnected, and we then pipe the RGB through a separate composite PAL converter, and therefore we get composite that is based on the RGB colors, not the internal gimme NTSC composite.
Which is a much simpler
system. The advantage with it, though, obviously, is its big advantage is much better quality composite signal too.
Well, also the fact you have consistency. You only have to write from one color set for your game or program. Whereas in the States and Canada, we had to select RGB or composite, and the colors don't exactly match, and some of them don't even have corresponding matches, period. So you have to kind of guess. So it doesn't look the same on both.
No, and I think that the composite boards that were in the PAL units probably aren't fudged in order to make artifacting like it is in the NTSC, because artifacting doesn't work in not the proper artifacting doesn't work under PAL. So they didn't do that fudge that Tandy did to get the red and blue colors work properly.
Yeah.
So hence we get a cleaner composite. Yeah.
Yeah, much cleaner.
Yeah. Actually, we'll go into a little bit of discussion on RGB and stuff there a little bit later after the news. I know there's been some questions from some of the people in the Amigos community that are doing the CoCo show, people that have newly gotten CoCo 3s, and some of them are interested in using the SCART solution. So we'll talk to Jason about what exactly that does, how it works.
Terry Steen's saying to you Australians that you all should just move to America.
No, we got the NTSC composite here too in Canada, so the struggle is real.
Yeah. The background, my matrix background running on there is actually running live off my CoCo 3, CoCo 3 now, straight out of the composite output.
Yeah, it looks good. And it's 80 colors.
You do know that NTSC NTSC stands for not the same color.
Yeah, never the same color. Yeah.
Or never the
Yeah,
same
or
color.
never the same color. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I do understand why Tandy did that. I mean, when they originally produced the CoCo 1, the VDG was supposed to just have P mode 4 as a black and white or green and white or green and black mode. That was it. It wasn't supposed to have color. Then everybody discovered this artifacting worked. And I think they did all this crappy composite stuff specifically so that artifacting colors were backwards compatible, because otherwise they would have killed off a lot of the previous games.
On the CoCo 3, you mean?
Yeah, for the NTSC market, because everybody was using that mode, whether it was Tandy or third party, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
That was by far more popular than the standard 4-color pastel-y things.
Yeah.
So
A lot
I'm
of
guessing
computer
that's why they
systems
did
were
it.
doing that too. A lot of
Apple. The Apple was notorious for that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the Apple IIs. Anyway, this is his second blog post. Going through that palette, kind of updating the palette thing. And this is where he starts to discover, that, palettes are a little bit different. I think that was on the third one, actually. Let's go to that one. Oh, a little plug for our show there.
Where is this from?
This is his blog.
Okay. Okay, cool.
So here's where he discovers the fun of RGB versus composite, and the fact that the colors are totally built the opposite directions from each other. Like one's based on that base 16 hues with a bit of extra luminosity white added, was RGB is based on literal RGB signals. So here's the original composite one where he's got, nice grays and greens you can see. And this is what it looks like, the exact same settings if you switch it to RGB. So you can look like color 7 goes from this light gray
to red
to this bright red. And if if you've ever selected the wrong monitor type in the CoCo 3, like if you see somebody tries to do like a grayscale box or something like that, it'll come out pink and red because of the difference. Like it's grotesque. So as he put it, my beautiful palette is ruined. So then he goes through and does a translation. And now I will give a plug for Eric Gavriluk here because he did some research, and Nick's used this, and I've used it in the latest versions of Nitrous 9EOU too. He actually did some research on converting the colors that was better than most of the standards that were done back in the late 80s, early 90s, and actually came up with a better conversion rate or conversion chart, which is an Excel spreadsheet. And he did a bunch of like mathematical calculations to figure out, how things match the best. So if anybody wants to get a translation grid, they should definitely get a hold of that chart that Eric did, because it does a better job. It still doesn't have a perfect match. So there are some colors in RGB you cannot get on composite, and vice versa. There's some on composite you cannot get in RGB. So he just tries to pick, whatever's the closest.
Okay.
But you'll never get an exact match. So he's got a little demo program doing that, the translations and the two different palettes.
It's cool stuff.
So yeah. I'm really looking forward to his game because I'm a big fan of Rogue and Hack and some of the games of the similar genre, and having this multi-pane window thing with the different areas, different colored text areas, actually fancying it up a bit for the CoCo, so that'd be cool. Next up, and I'll let John talk about this one since it's his video. I'm not going to play the whole hour-long thing here. You guys can enjoy it on your own. But you were doing some hardware fixes and upgrades, weren't you, John?
Yeah, I bought this CoCo last summer, and I turned it on. And, when I bought it, it said not tested. And I'm like, it'll work. So I got it and I plugged it in, turned it on, and there was a bunch of zeros on the screen. And so I talked to a bunch of people in the Facebook community, and one guy in the Facebook community pointed out that, when you turn the CoCo on, it fills the screen with spaces, which the ASCII value is 32. Well, if you look at that in binary, there's just that one bit for the value 32, and the rest would all be 0. So memory locations 400 through 600 would all have 32 in there. But I'm looking at the 0 character. If you look at the ASCII value for 0, it's 48, which you subtract the 32 from the system putting in spaces, that leaves 16. So that's telling you which chip. It's bit 0,
Is there
bit
gonna
1,
be a
bit 2.
quiz later on in this whole math formula?
No, but I'm just I'm just about done. But so bit 0. Notes. Bit 0 is 1. Bit 1 is 2. Bit 3 is 4. Bit 4 is 8. Bit 5 is 16. So 16 plus 32 is 48, which is why I was seeing those zeros. So the 5th chip over was the one that was bad. And after examining that chip, that's where I found the broken pin, and I just globbed a chunk of solder. If you jump to about 19 minutes in, I think that's about
It's
where.
good to see that Popstar Pilot runs on the Mac, as I see.
Oh yeah, it runs like a top. Yeah. So yeah, this is the spot where I
finally
turned
some
it
good
on and
software
discovered it
running
worked.
on a Mac.
I just threw it on just to have something CoCo going on in the background there. That's my personal Mac on the left there, and that's my work Mac on the right.
I have to say, I was playing Digger 3 on the Mac on the emulator last night, and it was doing pretty good. I played a lot better than Stevie did on the real thing.
On a PC or a Mac?
I think if I feel a sneeze coming on, screw you.
Not really saying much. I think.
Level 5 only.
Hey, Stevie, the takeaway here is you can figure out from what's displayed where the problem is.
Yes, yeah, I understand binary.
So there it is, getting powered on there.
Divide by 2 to the power of 3. Hail Mary. Praise the Lord. Amen.
Look, it booted. Good job, John.
Yeah, so there it is powered on, and I'm not seeing all those zeros anymore, so it's actually working. And then I moved forward with the CoCo VGA installation, which, to be honest, was cake. If you're thinking about doing it, it's really not that difficult to do. There's there's like 2 wires to solder, but I mean, for the most part,
it scared me.
You did the drill through there, huh? Look at you. He's got real hardware. Look at that. This guy's a freaking...
Ed made a wonderful template, and you just tape it on real good and drill the holes. You drill the first 2 holes, and then you put those standoffs in there to kind of bolt the template in place, and you could drill the other holes, especially that big hole. But yeah, it was pretty easy to get through all that there, and the whole installation was fairly simple. It's just unplug the VDG, plug the board in, plug the VDG in, and you're done as far as that's concerned. Mount the
you
board.
renewed your warranty.
well, hey.
Now you had a bit of a glitch here, didn't you? That you kind of worried you at first.
Yeah, when I get done and put it all together and turn it on, I get nothing, and then I took the case back off and I pushed down on the CoCo VGA board, and it kind of popped out. And I'm like, yeah, it wasn't seated properly. I basically I had to push. I was afraid to push down. I didn't want to crack the motherboard, so I put my hand underneath and pushed down, and that got it to seat properly. And when I turned it on, it worked, or it was still in composite. I still had the composite cable connected, and it was on channel 4. So I turned it on, and it worked. But then it dawned on me, oh, yeah, I need to put the CoCo VGA cable in and switch it to VGA. So I was like kind of laughing at the end there, but yeah,
that's the kind of stuff I do all the time. So
yeah. Just to kind of validate what John Lowry's saying, I'm not a hardware guy at all, and I was able to move my CoCo VGA from the TDP 100 I had it installed on to my white CoCo 1, and it really is. It's just a pass-through plug-in connector, and I didn't do any of the hole drilling stuff, so I just have the ribbon cable coming out the back of my case. But moving or installing the CoCo VGA is very painless. Pretty much toolless if you just want to do it.
Yeah.
It's up to the drill.
Yeah.
So easy. Even Stevie could do it.
Well, Stevie didn't.
If I would tackle it, I got somebody to do mine.
Stevie didn't do any of the drilling.
You did say it was toolless, though.
Yeah, to put the well, no, I take that back. You'd have to unscrew your case, right? But you don't have to do any modifications to your motherboard. I like what you did there with the drilling. I chose not to have that done to mine at the time because my TDP 100 was already pretty much modified with composite mods and all kinds of other accoutrements. So mine's in the 3D printed box, but I would consider doing that if I ever move the machine I put it in, doing the...
My 2 CoCo ones that I've got here, I did the drilling.
Yeah. I like having the little box there because I don't have to reach behind my CoCo to press the buttons. I've got the little thing on the top of my CoCo case, so I can just reach right on top and press the button. So it's a shorter trip.
Yeah, that's cool
to get to the button.
Yeah,
that's just preference.
Yeah, that's a good move.
Yeah, because sometimes if I reach behind and my finger's a little bit off, there's those 2 switches you can hit for changing like your modes and stuff, and I'll hit the wrong one.
So right. I do that all the time.
Yeah. So
yep.
No, that's cool.
I got to change my red to blue and a blue to red or whatever, and I press the other one and it gives me artifact lines. And it's like, that's not what I wanted. And I got to cycle through it to get it back to the right mode.
And so, John, when you went to fix your memory, you had a broken leg, or a missing pin, or a broken pin on the RAM chip, and you just reconnected that with some solder dollop.
Yeah, basically, the like imagine the wire coming out of the chip, and then there's a vertical part that goes down into the board. It was kind of broken like this, and the upper part was bent up. So someone literally must have went in there with like something hook shaped and pulled up on it until it broke and bent up. And I had pushed it back down, and then I just kind of globbed some solder to bridge the two broken parts of the pin.
Okay.
And it worked. Yeah.
There you go.
Do you know roughly whereabouts that was that you found that broken pin?
It was on. Actually, there's a spot about. Yeah, you're in the neighborhood there. What am I doing? I'm putting it together. Go back a couple minutes.
He shows it on the video.
Yeah, you can see it right there on the. Well, back up a couple frames.
Yeah, back up a little bit more from where you're at. Back up a little bit more.
And then just zoom in a tad.
Right there. It's the third pin down on the center chip.
On U18. See U18 there? Yeah. Here, you'll see it here.
Okay, U18. Yeah. Hold the camera still there, jackass. Oh, yeah. You see the broken leg, and then you're just going to bridge that gap with some solder.
That's all
because the memory is soldered in, too. So you would have had to have desoldered the chip.
I had it turned upside down. I bought a desoldering iron and everything, and I was leaning over the board ready to start desoldering the chip, and then I thought, you know what? Let me just flip it over, and that's what I'm doing right there, right now, is just putting some solder on that one pin. And
do you have an LED coming from your soldering iron itself?
Yeah, it's got like 2 or 3 LEDs on it that kind of illuminates.
Oh, that's cool.
That's
cool.
Helpful.
Very helpful.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I like that.
Hey, John, another thing that's good for repairs like that is if you have through-hole components and you trim the leads on them, keep those leads because you can use them to like bridge gaps.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that.
Yeah.
Just
I've watched a bunch of watched a bunch of retro channels where they've, like Jan Bita and Adrian Black and some of those other guys out there who've done work on various computers, bringing them back to life. So yeah, I've learned about that trick of keeping the like if you clip a resistor lead short or something like that, you save them for bridging.
Very cool.
Broken traces and stuff like that.
Yeah. Cool stuff. So this was one of your first retro hardware tinker projects?
Yeah. Previously, when I had figured out what was wrong with it, I had taken a screwdriver and just kind of pushed it in place to short across the pins, the broken pin rather. And then with one hand, I'm holding a screwdriver shorting across the pin, the broken pin. In the other hand, I turned the computer on and I saw it was working.
Yeah.
So I knew if I had fixed that pin that it would work.
You could
I just wasn't sure after I
duct
soldered
taped
it.
the screwdriver into the computer.
There you go.
That sounds like a Curtis move.
That's it. That's even too advanced for me.
Didn't even think of that. Yeah.
That's a bit of a risky move with the screwdriver too, because if you accidentally short the pin next to it to the wrong one, you can do some serious damage to the chip.
I was very, very careful when I did it to hold it such that I was just bridging the broken pin, and I made sure I wasn't touching anything else other than that. But yeah, after I got done with this and then did the CoCo VGA installation, I had a double win there, so I was kind of proud of myself for someone who's a rank amateur at doing this stuff.
Yeah, I do have a question, John.
Yeah.
Now, since Curtis isn't going to ask, I'm going to ask, how much solder did you get in your hair?
None.
Never had solder in my hair. I've just soldered my hair. That's what I did. Yeah. That's different. I didn't put solder in my hair. Solder was nowhere near me.
That's cool. That's cool. And so that video is on YouTube. So anybody who's interested in seeing someone do their own hardware, and that's the cool thing, we have some true experts when it comes to electronics level work. Some of them are here on the panel, and then there's some of us who have not done it, but it's a reasonably safe thing to try for certain things. And then we also have people that can help.
Especially in this case where, the CoCo was basically dead on arrival if you didn't do something.
And then, when we get into our presentation, we'll talk about some of the vendors we have in the community who can do the repairs. And so if it's something you don't want to try yourself and you want to have somebody else do it for you, you have that. Or you try it yourself and you screw it up, then you bring it to one of our vendors for the repair.
Then they just shake their heads in disgust. No, I'm just kidding.
Yep. Do ask for help before you try this yourself, because we have lots of pointers.
Like Tom C. I was on a video call with Tom C. as he was helping me solder the audio mod to my CoCo VGA on and stuff like that. So yeah, I bought a soldering iron. I've never soldered in my life, but I bought a soldering iron to solder a positive and negative lead, so I just did my first minor hardware project getting my, and speaking of which, I got my programming JTAG thing in the mail too.
Wait, this is where it gets zapped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where he lets the smoke out. Yeah.
Having had this win, it's really instilling with confidence moving forward. And I ordered the 2 meg upgrade the other day. It should be here. It's shipping out today, so it should be here in a couple of days. And it's for my CoCo 3, which is pristine, working perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm thinking I might tackle the upgrade because it's going to involve desoldering the CPU and soldering in a socket and plugging the 6309 in and such.
And that's something I'm going to have to really caution you on.
Yeah,
because
get with Richard on it.
Because that desoldering the CPU on the CoCo 3 is not for the rank amateur.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I don't even, the ones I've done for myself, I haven't even I've actually, they were dead, so I just cut out the CPU and then heated each pin up one by one and pulled them out. And that's even risky because just how cheaply these PC boards were made back in the day, let alone the age of them, it's very easy to screw them up. And I think David O'Connor can speak to that.
Absolutely. We have big adventures with Prizer.
Well, there's we'll have to talk about the options for sending it in somewhere to have someone who's more of an expert.
Come to CoCo Fest or Tandy Assembly or something like that.
Or you can send them to Toys and Tech or Cloud9.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'd like to give my input, even when you do have the proper tools, because of how cheaply the CoCo 3 motherboard was made, it is still easy to pull up the traces with the proper tools.
Yeah.
So,
I think I just said that, but okay.
Yeah. Well, David just got back. David was out.
Oh, David. Sorry, David. Did we wake you?
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Brian Schubring is here.
Oh, great. Now we got
I think you need a lozenge.
Kevin Holloway is asking, does anybody use lead-free solder?
No, can't stand this stuff, but I never will.
Especially with this old stuff, you really don't want to mix the two if you can help it.
Yeah, try not to.
Yeah, because that bad things can happen.
It's the most unreliable garbage. It really is rubbish. It's the worst thing they ever pulled is that stunt getting rid of lead in solder.
Besides, the lead tastes good.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, we're talking about vintage stuff, and yes, you want to use the leaded solder for working on your CoCo and the vintage stuff.
Yeah.
Working in the electronics industry, basically we had to switch to lead-free at one point because we even to ship things overseas to like Europe and stuff, we have to use lead-free, and it has gotten better. But you do have, there's more specialized equipment you need, and you have to preheat the boards and everything. I won't go into it all, but it's okay. It's gotten better, but now pretty much you have to use it for that kind of stuff. The kind of stuff that I deal with at work.
What is the disadvantage? Is it just not work as well, or what is, like, I don't know the difference.
The biggest downfall with lead-free solder is the lead in the solder actually stops it growing little spikes. And without the lead in it, I've forgotten that there's a word for them. They call
whiskers.
them
Whiskers.
Yeah, whiskering is one word, but there's a proper technical word for it. Basically, what happens is lead-free solder is prone to growing whiskers, and they can grow between two connections and short components out.
Diffendaffer's mentioning in the chat, he said lead-free sucks. That's why there's so many dead Xbox 360s.
Yeah, when the first generation 360s came out, the red ring of death was a huge thing because the heat from the different chipsets were causing them to melt themselves away from the surface mount. Things were getting so hot they were desoldering themselves from the boards.
Well, it's actually kind of funny because the lead-free solder, actually, you have to get it hotter to work with it.
Higher temperature.
It's higher temperature, but one of the hardest things is what's also in your solder is a flux, and that helps the solder flow. And what does tend to happen, I've noticed, is with leaded solder, you had more chances before you use up all the flux, to get something right. And the flux will dry out, and also lead-free solder. When you're looking at a leaded solder joint, it's going to look shiny. It doesn't want to look dull. If it looks dull, it's usually what they call cold solder joint. It's not a good connection. with lead free, you can't look at it by how shiny it is. And I know that's a disappointment for us that like shiny things.
Look at that overloaded wall socket.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Were we talking about news?
Yeah,
This is
Yeah,
one of
we've
those
gone off on a
organic
tangent.
discussions that happens
Okay,
when
well,
you get a news story worthy of it.
the
so.
news topic has to do with soldering, so we're just providing some value add to that. Okay, there we go. Next, Curtis. Thank you. Thank you,
All right,
Drafter,
next
please.
up, Jim Gary has released a portable adventure game called The Night of the Vampire Bunnies.
That title is awesome.
And he's got a little bit of a description of history. I'd like to know a little bit more of it. Jason Dyer, who originally wrote this, apparently was only 10 years old in the 1980s when he wrote it.
Wow. Night of the... Okay.
So
You're on the misty
it's a kind of
field,
adventure game.
A wall is to
Now,
the north.
I don't know where this guy came from. Was he a CoCo or MC10 guy back in the day, or a different platform, or what the history is? But porting a 10-year-old's game was kind of an interesting thing. So, Jim, if you want to write in
and not only
kind
this,
of let us
but
know the full history.
What I don't know if Jim is doing this or if Jim's port added this, but the fact that they're inverting that line and it's inverting the text and the numbers and zeros, there's no way to print that much inverted stuff, so you kind of have to reverse poke the screen. So if somebody was doing that at 10 years old, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know if that is or not, because I know Jim has got that routine he uses in a lot of his games.
Okay.
He just has this little subroutine he uses all the time. But
all right, no, that's neat. That's nice that it kind of breaks up the chunks of text, so it's not just a blur of green. You've got these dividing lines.
And it kind of separates where your moves are, so you can kind of see.
Yeah.
At a glance. And my last news story here, this is from Ben Drakes, our VR CoCo guy and Dragon guy.
Mm-hmm.
We demonstrated his game. What was it called again last week?
Beetle.
Yeah. And he's got a new one he's working on. He's calling it Project A for now.
Okay.
Now, I had to mute sound because there's a soundtrack in the background. I don't know if it's copyrighted, so I don't want to get a ding for it.
Ooh, look at this. We got torches lighting. That is cool. Oh, look at that. Oh, the Counts of Dragoria have gathered at the site of their... Does that say
Dragoloria?
Dragoloria.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be kind of a text adventure game, but with some, low-res graphical
stuff,
animated elements. Let me fast forward it just a hair here.
Yeah, as soon as you see like something with a nightmare bunny, you can't help but think of that Monty Python bit. Run away, run away. This is cool. We've got like bats flying at us or something.
The holy hand grenade.
This is really cool. This is really cool. We've got animation. You got this kind of 3D look to it. I gotta say, for an out of the box programmer, this guy's doing some really cool stuff, Ben. Good job. Coming soon for the Dragon 32 and Tandy Color computer.
It looks promising, and I mean he's new to programming in BASIC and new to programming on these older platforms. In fact, I don't even know if he was born when the Dragon and the CoCo came out. So it's cool to have the newer, younger people getting into not just using the old machines, which we've seen a lot of in some podcasts and stuff, but actually getting into actually working with them in programming.
Yeah, rolling up your sleeves, getting your hands dirty. Yeah.
And that is all the news I have. There's a ton of stuff in Game On, but we'll save that for later.
That's cool. All right. Well, who else has joined us now that wasn't here before when we first started at the top of the show? Rick Adams is with us. Hello, Rick Adams. You're muted, but hello to you.
I always test the mute, and it always works. And then you call for me, and I push the button, and nothing happens.
Okay.
Appreciate that, Rick.
Thanks for joining us on our special day as we celebrate the community. You're definitely a part of it. Brian, the Music Man Shoebring is. What are we looking at there,
He's
Rick?
showing us something.
Oh, it's just a little gadget I bought.
That's not the countdown to doomsday or anything, is it?
No.
Okay.
Is that the Back to the Future time thing? Where are we going?
It looks a lot like that, yeah.
That's a go to that new century Stevie was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
I thought it was for breaking nuclear codes.
Yes. Somebody said it was the Whopper computer.
The Whopper computer.
I prefer my Whopper with cheese.
Yeah.
That's a little $6 board that I bought just because it looked cool.
It does look cool. It's got blinky lights on it. There's
for your
nothing not to
Arduino.
like about that.
It's for Arduino, right?
Originally, yes, but I made it work with a Raspberry Pi.
Okay.
But let's get back to it.
Yeah, it's Brian, the Music Man Shoebring, is joining us. Hello, Brian.
Hello, everyone. I think my volume should be a little bit more normal again. I kind of kicked the frog out of the throat.
All right, you're here. Yeah, we mentioned your MIDI pack in the news. And then Barry Nelson has joined us too, who also joined us on our little gaming midnight marathon last night. Thanks for being here, Barry.
Hello, I'm glad I could make it. Sorry I joined a couple minutes late, but
that's all right. And let's say hi to some of the people in the live chat. So Tom C is out here, Paul Fitch, Al Hartman, Rushi MSX, Curtis Boyle, Mark Overholzer, Terry Steen is out there. Hey Terry, Tim Franklin, Nick Marotta, John Lowry, Al Hartman, Kevin Holloway is out there. Hey Kevin, and Mr. James Diffendaffer is out there in the live chat. Ken Reichard is in the live chat. Ben Drakes is out there. And Terry Steen is out there. And who else is out there? We got some people watching us on Mixer. So we got Rogue Dog and Trinal Mixelplick is out there. Ken
David Ladd's a bit out there.
Yeah, Paul
You
Fitch.
always ignore Restream bots. I
Yes,
don't know why you never
Robert
acknowledge Restream
Murphy is there. Robert Murphy says, hey, he's waving to us, Coco Nuts. Just got a sound loop. Rushi MSX. Oh, so it's Roshi MSX. The MSX was my 8-bit micro. Yeah, so Roshi MSX is joining us in the live chat as well. Thank you all for being here. All right, we have a brand new CoCo Thoughts from Samuel Gimes. So
Yay.
we're going to Amigos Retro Gaming. Roshi. Sorry. Yes, Roshi. But, you know, some people like mix their upper and lower case or use dashes or underscores. And some people said, just screw it. I'm going to throw a bunch of letters up there and you figure it out. So, no, I'd like to buy a vowel, please. So we've got a brand new CoCo Thoughts from Samuel Gimes, from the creative mind of Samuel Gimes. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll do a commercial break, and then we'll be back with our main segment, which is celebrating the color computer community. So let's hear what...
That's good, Stevie.
All right. Thank you there, young David Ladd. Let's see what Samuel Gimes has been thinking about, and we'll be back after these words.
And now, CoCo Thoughts by Samuel Gimes. Today, I, Samuel Gimes, would like to list all the contributions I've made to the color computer community.
So I wasn't sharing sound for the benefit of those on the panel. The people
Yeah,
on
thank
the
you
live
very much
stream,
for that.
Well, listen, screw you, Nick. All right. So
A lot of love in this room.
for the benefit of those on the panel, we're going to play CoCo Thoughts again, and then we'll take this commercial break. So we'll be back again after these words.
And now, CoCo Thoughts by Samuel Gimes. Today, I, Samuel Gimes, would like to list all the contributions I've made to the color computer community.
We will return after these messages.
Hi, I'm Terry Steen, author of Balloon Fire and other amazing games on the color computer. And you're listening to Stevie Stroh on CoCoTALK.
At GSoft, we make games for the TRS-80 color computer, TRS-80 MC10, and Dragon computers. Our basic games cover the range of genres from arcade, to text adventures, to simulations, to 3D dungeon crawls. This is our latest puzzle game from Japan, Fruit Panic. So come on and drop by our website and download our latest games.
My fellow Americans, Australians, Canadians, Europeans, and all of you ands, I'm calling on all y'all to help us make the world great again by visiting the Retro Swag Shop at 8bit256.com, where you can get yourself a coffee mug like this with a little cute cartoon character that says, "I'm a Coco Nut." You could also get yourself a coffee mug like this with a Color Computer 3 that says, "I'm a Coco Nut." You could get yourself a deluxe travel mug like this with the CoCoTALK logo on it. You might even be able to get yourself a DVD like this with over 2 hours of gameplay goodness. It is time for us to rise up and make the world great again by enjoying some quality retro merchandise and CoCo nostalgia. So please visit 8bit256.com and let's make the world great for the color computer. Thank you very much.
CoCo2's got personality, lots of practicality, fun, it's sensational, learn it's educational. CoCo2's expandable, so easily commendable. It's programmable, so term exam grammable. Just you and CoCo2 do what you want to do.
CoCo2, the color computer with personality from Radio Shack. Sale price for Christmas giving from $149.95.
Radio Shack's CoCo2, do what you want to do. Just you and CoCo2.
CoCoTALK is brought to you in part by Placeblex Dietary Supplement. Placeblex. We think it works, so will you. Tired of switching your joystick between the left and right port? Want to change between different controllers? Well, Joey has got you covered. The Joey Controller Switch. Take control of your controllers with the flip of 2 switches. Order today at cocoman.biz. And now, Coco Thoughts by Samuel Gimes. Legend says, when the moon is full, if you go out in the country by the lake and whisper the name of Nick Marotta 3 times, his spirit will appear and he will grant you a product idea.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Tim. Playing Dagger like that idiot from the book. You're watching CoCoTALK.
We now return you to CoCoTALK.
And we're back. All right, so we've done the news. We have taken a commercial
We're back
break.
and we're sorry.
We're back and we're sorry.
That is my favorite Coco Thoughts because I do love hearing my name, apparently. It's really great.
Okay. So, about a week ago, I came up with the idea that, hey, why don't we try to compile information and let's recognize and celebrate the community and put out a call for people to send us information. And we got some information sent. We put our heads together. We came up with a bunch of names. A spreadsheet was created.
I think it slipped.
Yes.
Yeah.
A spreadsheet was created. Names were sorted. Categories were created, and that translated to the following PowerPoint presentation that you guys are now all in store for. So without any further ado, why don't we talk about our CoCo celebration, celebrating our community members. Can you guys all see that on the panel?
Yep.
Okay.
Now, Samuel Gimes is not on this list.
Okay.
The results were tabulated by Deloitte & Touche.
That's
and
right.
PricewaterhouseCoopers.
So yeah, PriceCoopers Waterhouse did correlate this. So this is an attempt to recognize the many people who make up our wonderful community and recognize their contributions. Efforts were made to compile as much information as possible due to the enormity of this task. It is going to be nearly impossible to get everyone. We apologize if you were overlooked, and we appreciate your contributions. While this is unfortunate in a weird way, it's kind of a good problem that we've got so many people doing so many things that it's hard to keep track of, right? So
our attorneys made us say this.
Yes. So we have various categories. We're going to talk about clubs, broadcast media, community services, vendors, projects, hardware, software, and more. So why don't we talk about the main club, our founding fathers, right? How about the Glenside Color Computer Club at glensideccc.com? How long have they been around? I don't remember exactly what year, but let's just say since the 80s. Probably as long as there's been a CoCo. There's been a Glenside Color Computer Club based out of Chicago. We've got Brian Schubring here with us, member of that club. And for the past 29 years, they have been hosting the annual last Chicago CoCo Fest, our annual migration, which many of us have attended. So thank you, Glenside, for doing that.
And I believe they also helped with the Rainbow Fest.
Some of the Rainbow Fest too.
Before that,
right? Yeah. There are too many members to count and recognize, but let's just start with some of the ones that we see on a fairly regular basis, like some of the officers right now. The current officers are Eric Canales, President; John Mark Mobley, Vice President; Brian Goers, Treasurer; Rich Baer, Secretary; Tony Pedraza is the Director; Salvador Garcia, for many years, along with John Mark, have been handling the newsletter, which I have just recently picked up. Chris Hawks from Hawksoft is there. Randy Weavers, the internet guy who does the Tandy list and a lot of other things. We got Brian, the Music Man Shoebring, with us on the panel, and Bob Swoger, the grandfather of Logical. These are not all the members, but some of the ones I could actually find pictures for on the internets. So thank you, Glenside, for all you have done and all you continue to do. Here. We live in a time now where there are multiple sources of broadcast media for the color computer. Who would have thunk it, right? So 4 years ago, we got the CoCo Crew podcast. 2 years ago, we had CoCoTALK hit the scene. This year, we've got the CoCo Show, and we've also got on Roku a CoCo TV channel. So there is content out there for community members to consume. Please consume responsibly. And hopefully we're addressing those needs and providing some value. And I want to say thank you to everyone who gets together to create all of this great stuff for us.
We're just about ready for our own cable channel.
Yeah. I was looking at the years. So 2015 was CoCo Crew. 2017 is CoCoTALK. 2019 is a CoCo Show. So in 2021, we are due for another podcast. Seems like about every 2 years, a new podcast will hit the scene.
Yeah, that'll be running Dynacalc spreadsheets, that one, I think.
So I want to thank you. Thanks to all the folks who work hard to bring content together for the community to consume. Another great resource for our book has been this book here, our Bible. If we had a Bible, this would be it, right? So the colorful history of Tandy's Underdog Computer. If you have not grabbed this book, grab yourself a copy wherever books can be grabbed. Brought to us by our own Boise Pete and Bill the Judas. Most of us here, we've probably read the CoCo book, right? At least once?
Yep. Yeah.
Right. Great.
Excellent resource.
Excellent resource. Very well done. So
I got mine signed by Boise.
Oh yeah.
I just got to chase down Bill.
And I've also created this little category here that I call community services, because there are certain things that have become kind of staples to our community. So we want to make sure we recognize some of those. First and foremost would be the Color Computer mailing list. Most of you have seen the list or heard of the list or been on the list and possibly still read the list. So Dennis Bathory Kits is the one who brought us that. There's a long link to that, but it's out there. There's also, if you can remember, imacoconut.com, you can get to it that way. Who the hell is heavy breathing right now? Anyone? All right, everybody just hold your breath for the next 45 minutes, will you? Okay. So we have probably one of the longest lasting resources to the community has been the CoCo mailing list. And how about the Color Computer Facebook group? I didn't know who created the group, but I think it was Brian Palmer. Bryza said last night it was actually created by Derek Snyder, who I don't actually know. But I checked the group this morning. We are at 2,900 members. We're just shy of 3,000 members in the CoCo Facebook group. That's pretty impressive, So
that's pretty good.
Another one of our community services. The Color Computer Archive, an incredible community service, right? Brought to us by Guillaume Major, right? So you know about that site. If you don't, now you do. ColorComputerArchive.com. All kinds of great resources there. Projects continue. We've got lots of documents and magazines and books continue to get scanned and uploaded. Every time you log in, you'll see what's new there. Check that out. L. Curtis Boyle has had a website that's been a great resource for quite some time, right? So the Color Computer Games List website, right? So if you want to find out about some CoCo games, see some screenshots, find out some facts about them. And Curtis has been keeping it real with the retro look of this web page here, right? None of those fancy colors or fonts or anything like that. So
I set it up back in the day in the 90s so that it would actually run on links, because you could actually log into the internet using a CoCo back in that time using the links browser. So
that's cool.
We can see Stevie's priorities too. He goes to the Tandy color computer list quite often. He's never been to
You notice I've never been to that. What is that Nitrous 9 you speak of?
Exactly.
And we've got some vendors in the color computer community, right? We got some folks and some companies that bring us some products brought to you in alphabetical order. We've got our Boyson Technologies, our very own Richard Lorbieski, who does repairs and upgrades. He's got a CoCo 3 512 upgrade called the Boomerang. Paragon joystick adapter. He's got a 2 meg upgrade. Triad 1 megabyte hack that you guys were talking about a week or so ago that I think Paul Barton had done. A Guardian Shield buffer board. He also says he provides dumpster fire management. So that's another great service that Richard has been doing through the community, and you can check him out at boysontech.com. Cloud9 Technologies, probably one of the original companies since the post Rainbow. There were a lot of companies in the days of the Rainbow, but in the aftermath of the Rainbow, Cloud9 has been here for well over 20 years, right? So
the 90s.
Yeah, from the 90s. So all your repairs and upgrades, he sells refurbished CoCos in quality condition. You got all kinds of adapters. So the list goes on and on. For those of you not familiar with Cloud9, they've been around forever, and their website is cloud9tech.com. You can get CPUs, you can get protectors, memory upgrades, all kinds of cables, you name it. It's
and drive wire cables, all kinds of stuff there.
Yep. Our very own CoCo Man, Jason Reichert, has got his own website, cocoman.biz, where you can get yourself a switcheroo, a Wallaby cable, a Joey controller, and I was looking for the Kookaburra. I didn't see the Kookaburra on there. I would have screen grabbed that too.
Yeah, the Kookaburra needs to be added to the site, but present, I'm here.
All right, Jason is here. So cocoman.biz, another one of our vendors out there. Brendan Donahue and the CoCo VGA project, very cool thing, right? Clean VGA output. We saw John Lowry installing his today, right? So check that out at cocovga.com. Carlos Camacho has the Color Computer Store. He's got RAM badges. He's got souvenirs that he brings to CoCo Fest, like Motorola souvenirs, CoCo souvenirs. Carlos also does a lot of scanning. He scans and he finds a lot of obscure magazines and news articles and things like that. So Carlos Camacho out there, colorcomputerstore.com. Jim Brain and Retro Innovations, right? He's got the CoCo Flash dual processor doohickeys, cartridge extenders, cartridge cases, memory upgrades, extenders, and new things that have yet to be conceived and invented. Yeah, his website is go4retro or store.go4retro.com. There's our retro innovations. Ed Snyder and the Zipster Zone. Too many products to mention, but we'll mention some of the ones that we're probably the most fond of, like the CoCo SDC, the Mini MPI, the Mega Mini MPI, the CoCo Mech keyboard, the MCX 128, the Gimme X. He's responsible for part of the CoCo VGA and the CoCo 3 FPGA and more. So check out Ed Snyder at thezipsterzone.com. So those are some of our vendors that, and I consider these guys vendors because that's the primary thing they do is they make and sell specific things. They're not all over the place with that. How about some special recognitions? This would be our very own Asmanoff Awards, if we will, since Diego is here. I was hoping he would appreciate that. So we want to give some special recognitions. How about to the king of all CoCo media? I came up with this title all by myself, but I've decided to nominate DeBruce Moore as the king of all CoCo media. He's brought us so much content. He's responsible for our CoCoTALK theme song, the ease of use Nick Marionettes commercial, Stuck in the Elevator song, The Answer, He's Canadian, and so much more that we want to recognize about DeBruce. So here are some of his projects, right? Like your Forest of Doom, which was mixed media, right? It's a game, it's a book, it's music, right? Now how much would you pay? CoCo Forever, mixed media, it's audio content, it's electronic document content, it's video content, software content, mixed media. Joey and CoCo, excellent. Digital comic strip, System Hacked is an ebook, right? So definitely, I think the king of CoCo, king of all CoCo media, that title should go to DeBruce Moore. Is he with us, or did we lose him? Did he get deported? I'm not sure.
And he makes awesome sound bites too.
He does make awesome little sound bites for us too. The best community mullet goes to L. Curtis Boyle.
Thanks for digging out that picture.
Look at that hair, right? So that hair.
I wasn't even sober in this shot either. So.
No kidding.
Forgive you.
So we have, he provides us the CoCo List game site. He's responsible for the original Nitrous 9 and our new ease of use. He's giving us CoCo 3 optimizations. He's Canadian. He no longer has a mullet, and he's sorry.
I'm not sorry about no longer having the mullet.
Is this the day pot became legal in Canada?
Yeah.
Nope. There was no pot anything. This was all booze at that time.
All right. So,
When was that?
This would have been early 2000s, like 2002, 2003, somewhere in there.
Excellent.
You're playing Stairway to Heaven.
Ambassador of Goodwill, Simon Jonason. All right, so Simon gives us mad demos. He helps the community. He's helped with Bouncy Ball and Timberman and Run Dino Run, and he did the CoCo Fest demo. He's brought us the SG Edit utility and so much more. So we wanted to give a special shout out to Simon Jonason.
He also wins for best facial expressions.
Absolutely.
I would be remiss without mentioning our resident artist, Joel M. Adams, who actually happens to be a product of Rick Adams as well, but one of the many products that Rick Adams has produced. But Joel Adams is responsible for the artwork we have on our merchandise. So if you've got any of these logos on a t-shirt, coffee mug, or mousepad, you have Joel Adams to thank for that. So the CoCo 3 artwork and the I'm a Coconut and the different CoCoTALK logos, all of those things responsible by Instagram artist, pixel art aficionado, Joel M. Adams. Thank you, Joel, for your talents. Jim Gary is the MC10 ambassador, right? Too many games and ports to count. He is an inspiration. He's the best thing that ever happened to the MC10. So
agreed.
Thank you, Jim Gary. Here's a little section I put together that I'm calling some of our gaming gurus. So we got some of you guys who are here on the panel. So let's recognize some of those guys. Like, how about Chet Simpson? Chet, I found this. I found this picture of you on your Facebook profile, dude. What do you think of that one there, man? So Chet Simpson is currently giving us Digger 3, and he's been really helping out the community with talking about coding.
Chet's muted.
Sharing his knowledge of the Force in 6809. You like that picture there, Chet?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna find you at CoCo Fest.
Hey, dude, I went to your Facebook page, man. I had to find something. So.
That's Chet before he found marijuana.
Seriously, he looks like
I actually have a funny story about those glasses. I'll tell you guys later.
Okay.
Looks like a hitman.
There we got John Kowalski, our sock master, right? So he's brought us the Bouncing Ball demo, Twilight Term, Donkey Kong, DK Remix, DK Junior Remix, and many more.
High Color 2.
What's that?
High Color 2.
High Color 2. It's too many, but this was mostly gaming related here. Nick Marionettes, Nick Marentes, who has brought us Popstar Pilot and bringing us Gunstar and Waterfall and our CoCo 3 palette hacks and all of his blogs he's done for us and all the cool segments he's brought to CoCoTALK. And he's here helping to make sure we get our Australian government tax breaks. So thank you for representing Down Under, Nick Marentes.
Eat your Vegemite.
We need ours. We still need ours, isn't it?
Right.
He makes our show more professional.
He does. He brings the pro to professional show. So
thank you and good night.
He puts up with our cost in Australia jokes.
All right. Rick Adams, thank you. You're too kind. He has brought us Temple of Rom, Shanghai, Bomb Squad, OmniStar, Temple of Rom 2, and he's just a great all-around guy. So thank you, Rick,
Yay, Rick.
for gracing us with your graciousness. He's holding up his little number count. And some guy called Steve Bjork. I think he's done a project. Can anybody name something Steve done? I was looking for anything he produced. I came up with something called Audio Spectrum Analyzer, high-res joystick interface. Did he do anything else?
Maybe
didn't he
didn't
he support that highway?
Yeah, I think Steve did about 2 or 3 CoCo games, but you'd have to really dig hard to find them. But he did bring us a great 6809 assembly language series to this program. He's been helping out CoCoTALK, and he's been a great asset to the community. So thank you, Steve Bjork, for all you have done for us. Much appreciated. And then we got some people who I broke down as being mostly known for their hardware. So we would like to recognize some of our hardware folks. Darren Atkins, if you own a CoCo SDC, and currently there's about 700 people who do, the CoCo SDC was actually designed by Darren Atkins. Ed Snyder is now the producer of that, but Darren's the guy who made it. Darren also created the MCX 128. Gary
both
Becker
awesome products.
has created the CoCo 3 FPGA and is working with Ed on the Gimme X. I believe he's on the show with us right now. Paul T. Barton. Is Paul still here?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So Paul, I don't even know everything you've done, Paul, but I just put down a few, like your NoCan 8 meg memory. You got repacks, you got IDE stuff, and you've got amazing wire colors, as I put you down for too. So he's holding something up that nobody else can see. Here's a cool piece of artwork that Ron Delvaux provided for us here. The CoCo Wizard, Barton Laboratories, Paul T. Barton. So this artwork is courtesy of Ron Delvaux.
Yeah, that's the 64 megabyte upgrade.
Holy crap.
And what I did was I actually cut out a piece of a motherboard, as you can see that green edge under the memory.
Yeah.
And rewired that portion and then plugged it into a NoCan.
Oh my God. And you turn it on and your lights go dim, right? And they got
No, it was a repack.
That's insane. That's really cool. So thank you, Ron, for that artwork.
Yep.
More artwork. Ron Delvaux wants to remind you that we appreciate the members of our Dragon community who join us on CoCoTALK. Ben Drakes is out there.
Yay.
Everybody else. So thank you to our UK brethren. And hey, CoCoTALK, we also appreciate the MC10. So we'll make sure that we give proper recognition where it's due. Let's refrain from all other non-flattering comments about the MC10.
That was my first machine.
For at least the next 20 seconds.
Now, we got a lot of folks making software. This is where it gets to the point where there's so many people doing so many things. If I had to remember them all and if I needed to put a picture of every person, my head would explode. So we'll try to capture some of these. I tried to break them into groups. So we've got some folks who are focusing on the operating system and stuff like that. So in the realm of OS 9, ease of use, Fusix, and Yados, we've got folks like Bill Pierce, Bill Noble, Curtis Boyle, Barry Nelson, James Jones, Wayne Campbell, Eric Critchlow, Lord Dragon are all our OS 9 guys. Brett Gordon has brought us Fusix and Yados. So these are some of our kind of OS 9 champions who are still working on that system for us. We've got a bunch of folks who have been working on ports and transcodes. So Evan Wright has brought us Hunt the Wumpus. He's working on some other stuff. Glenn Hewlett brought us Pac-Man. John Kowalski brought us Donkey Kong DK Remix. Mark McDougall's did a bunch of stuff for the CoCo 3. One of the most recent ones was Night Lord, but he did Asteroids. He's done Space Invaders, Common.
Yeah. So Loadrunner from the Apple II.
Loadrunner from the Apple II. Paul Shoemaker's working on the Oregon Trail port right now. We got a lot of people helping in the world of development and tools and emulators. So if you've used LW Tools or LW ASM, you can thank William Astle for that. LW stands for Lost Wizard, which he derived from Dungeons of Daggerath, which is he's also responsible for bringing Dungeons of Daggerath, getting that decompiled and commented and figuring out the source code and the compression algorithms and all that kind of stuff. And he brought us a really cool disk version of Daggerath. So thank you, William, for all you've done. Paul Fiscarelli has created the Long Branch Never series. Paul also did Run Dino Run, a new game. Per Surratt has given us the CMOC system, also responsible for a lot of the AGD ports. Karen Anscombe brought us XRoar, the Dragon and CoCo emulator. Thank you. Walter Zambotti's blazing the trail with OVCC. Bill Pierce has been keeping the flame alive with VCC. Tim Lindner has been our on-the-ground guy who's working in the MAME project, the MAME and MESS project. Tim also brought the CoCo speech sound pack emulation to MAME. Ron Klein's been spearheading the CoCo Pi, Raspberry Pi 3 project. A lot of people working on games. I didn't catch them all, but we tried to get some. Craig Stewart, Davey Mitchell, Diego Barrizo, Erico Montero, Eric Gavriluk, James Diffendaffer, Jim Gary, Ken Reichert, Lee Patterson, Lord Dragon, Matchy, Michael Furman, Paul Fiscarelli, Paul Shoemaker, Paul Thayer, Richard Cavell, Richard Kelly, Todd Wallace, Trey Tomes, which we talked about in the news, Ben Drakes, many, many, many more. There's so many people just dropping out software all the time. It's really hard to keep up with all the software people and all the software projects, but we're trying to say thank you to you guys who have done that. Thank you all. Did I miss anything? Anything coming to mind right now before we move on, guys? We good?
Yeah, there's, as you said, there's just too many to list. There's just tons of stuff.
And then there are some people who do so many things that it was hard to call them software people or hardware people. So I'm putting them in a category I call projects. So if you're multi-talented, you are now going to be featured in the project category. In our project categories, there's lots of people here too, but Chris Burke is working on RGB hardware, the microware code preservation project and OS 9 stuff. David Ladd has brought us a PS2 mouse adapter, ease of use optimizations, a BMP to bin converter, and the grease weasel. David O'Connor has got his website, CoCoTweaks.com, where he's working on CoCo music. He loves analog synths and solar power. So we got that going for us there. David O'Connor. Grant Leedy has helped us out with CoCoTALK. He's done some of the beta testing for ease of use. He is also fond of elevator repairs, root beer dispensing, and live streaming. So thank you.
A lot of in-jokes there for the long-time listeners.
Thank you, Grant Leedy. John W. Linville has brought us the CoCo Crew podcast, Farfall, the Game Master cartridge, Sega Joypad adapters, and many more. John Strong has 3D printed cases for just about everything. Custom controllers, all kinds of software and development tools. Mike Rowan, a.k.a. Myro, has brought all the bonus content and entertainment value to the CoCo Crew podcast. He sells RAM badges. He's got project boards, cartridge cases, all kinds of cool stuff there. Neil Blanchard, also a member of the CoCo Crew. He produces the cartridges, and he also provides cheap Canadian labor. So thank you, Neil Blanchard.
Don't forget
there.
Neil. Neil also does the bulletin board.
The bulletin board, that's right. The Internal Affairs BBS. Thank you, Ron Delvaux. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Neil Blanchard. We have Rob Inman, who's been co-hosting and co-streaming CoCo Talks. He's created all kinds of video segments for us and commercials. He's helping out with the EOU project. He's passionate about MIDI. Roger Taylor has brought us all kinds of stuff like the Matchbox CoCo, the Mr. CoCo, CoCo TV, NetMate, Phoenix IDE, and so many more things that we have to thank Roger for. Ron Klein, member of the CoCo Crew, CoCo Pi 3 project. He's our kind of one of our MAME gurus and kind of an ambassador helping people out, learning how to use MAME and set up their CoCo Pis and getting the emulators working. So thank you, Ron Klein.
All around nice guy.
Yeah, all around nice guy. And then we got Ron Delvaux. Ron Delvaux has done so many things that we just dedicated a whole page to him, courtesy of his artwork here. These have all been CoCo image converted too, right? With the high color
I think he has
stuff.
the world record of the most CoCo-related pages created on Facebook.
So Ron gives us Ron's Garage. He's got a website called Show Us Your Tandy. This is a group called Show Us Your Tandy, CoCo Pi group, the OS 9 group, the Color Computer 3 photo gallery. So Ron is just an all-around great guy, artistic guy. He brings the joy to the hobby. Thank you, Ron.
He's also one of our main user perspectives too. Like a lot of us are programmers or hardware designers, stuff like that. And Ron doesn't do too much of that, but he's got an enthusiasm and he's got, from the user perspective, what we should do, look for in programs and stuff too, which is invaluable.
He also has recruited a lot of interviewees
he's been our PR agent.
Yeah. Oh, excellent there.
He's had a few lunches.
I have a little square here now. Feels good.
Thanks for all you do, Ron Delvaux.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks, Ron.
And then we have more projects. So Boise Pete, member of the CoCo Crew, he did the Rainbow Magazine Preservation Project. He hosts the CoCo Call to Papers at CoCo Fest, and obviously brought us the Underdog book. Scott Kelly helped out with the CoCo Rainbow, with the Rainbow project. He said he's done some 3D printed buttons. Facebook ambassador, he helps out people on Facebook. Sheldon McDonald has done custom joysticks, and he's done some cool music stuff using the GMC and the PSG and all kinds of other stuff like that. So thank you for all you do, Sheldon, man of many talents. Ben Drakes from Explorer VR, he's taken old Dragon and CoCo games and playing them in virtual reality. I mean, what's cooler than that? And now he's also writing new games. Terry Steggy has got a couple of websites, the Tandy Shack, and he's now like our Tandy Data Products TDP 100 ambassador. So he's got a website and Facebook group for that. He's helped out with the Glenside newsletter scanning and archiving project. He's taken a bunch of back issues going back to 1985 there, helping us get those digitized. Tim Lindner, as I mentioned before, he's like our guy who's part of the MAME dev team. He brought us the speech sound pack to MAME. He created the ROM pack reproduction boxes that I saw a couple years ago at CoCo Fest, very high quality silver cases. So if you got an old cartridge and a crappy box, you can get a brand new, nice, perfectly good box. And if you guys remember the big Dino Wars backdrop that was at Tandy Assembly this year in CoCo Fest, he did that too. So Tim does.
He's also got some excellent web pages too, where he's got details in Diagraph, and he's got how to build the Dicom light phaser adapter and all kinds of other things too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Well, isn't he the one that was playing Dagrith, like
that
idiot in the
from
book?
Yeah. Yeah. So thanks, Tim, for all your many projects. We also now we're going to talk about just our community members in general, and there are so many. Again, we can't get everybody, but how about we talk about Al Hartman for his wisdom, knowledge, experience, and being from Jersey, and Alexander Wallace, Viva la Mexico, and supporting the community, and Alan Huffman from Microware, Sub-Etha Software, and for helping keep Glenside financially stocked through all your auctioning. Antonio Jimenez with his SD pack and all his enthusiasm support. Ashley Whitney on Facebook now. She's been posting a lot of stuff out there. Barry Nelson for having a parrot, for the original RGB to SCART design, and for a lot of Mac MAME stuff that he does, just to name a few. And to Belle Brain, daughter of Jim Brain, for her amazing baking, her jewelry, and being nothing like Jim.
Great food.
Yes.
Including the spelling of her last name, apparently.
Yes. Bell, yes. And yes. And Ben Drakes for his Explorer VR and his new Dragon games. Bill DeJudas for his Armchair Arcade and helping with the CoCo book. Brian Palmer being a Facebook admin, being Australian, and always being politically correct. A little inside humor there. Brian Joyce from Extructus Productions. It's great CoCo content. He's given us the What Did David Ladd Break and the Floppy Life, David Ladd's story, and so many others. He's also an Australian. Brian Weasler for collecting amazing things that makes us all jealous. And for Chad Cunnington, he's Australian. He's Nick's neighbor. He's a coconut. Fedor Stamen, who's Simon's neighbor. He's in Denmark. He's our European ambassador. Gene Haskett, living encyclopedia of CoCo information, always willing to share. Henry Reitveld has amazing CoCo projects that he shares on YouTube and on the mailing list. Hugo Defort for speaking French, for making cool graphics and cool demo programs on the CoCo. James Jones for being part of Microware and being an OS9 advocate, and for watching CoCoTALK. We're sorry. Jason Downs being a great community member. Joe Burnett, who brought us Radio Shack, right? He brought us to Radio Shack. John Lowry. John Lowry is the hardware mentor to Ed Snyder, and he works for Apple. So,
and he's a nice guy.
And he's a nice guy, right? Luciano Scharf is keeping the Brazilian CoCo clones alive. That's our Brazilian contingent there. Mark Bosley, backup streamer, hardware hacker, and he tolerates us. Thank you, Mark. Mark D. Overholzer for being a CoCoTALK producer and Apple guy. Nick Marotta for his ukulele and for CoCo 2 forever, right?
CoCo 2 is all you need.
CoCo 2 is all you need.
And he's sharp in the brain. He can come up with real quickies.
Oh, thank you, Ron.
You're good.
Pitfall Jerry brought us some MC10 live streaming. He doesn't live stream like Grant Leedy, though, thankfully. Richard Cavell has brought us CoCo and Dragon programming projects. Ken Reichard, being the brother of Jason Reichard, also bringing us Nutroid and Nightmare Highway. Samuel Gymes for Nightmare Highway. Thank you.
Nightmare Highway.
Samuel Gymes for CoCo Thoughts. Stevie Stroh for YouTube content, CoCoTALK, and Rage Quitting. Terry Steen, best known for hitting furniture, inspiring Nightmare Highway, and Balloon Fire.
Nightmare Highway.
Yes. Tom C. from Jersey, and he tolerates us guys, right? Tony Capolini, he's a community champion. He's our West Coast guy. Wayne Aaron does all kinds of cool YouTube stuff, and he did a cool demo, the CoCo 3 versus the MC10. So that was our community stuff. I want to take a moment here to also
you
thank
didn't
our
mention
patrons.
the CoCo Chicks.
The CoCo Chicks. Who are the CoCo? Yeah.
Now you remember, right?
Right. Yes. Thank you to our patrons who support the show: Al Hartman, Alan Huffman, Blair Ledoux, Brendan Donahue, Brian Joyce, Brian Weasler, Christina Armstrong, DeBruce Moore, Davey Mitchell, Diego, Disney Saints fan, Eric Canales, Fedor Stamen, Grant Leedy, Jason Downs, Ken Reichert, Kyle Etter, Malfunct, Paul Fiscarelli, Paul Shoemaker, Richard Lorbieski, Rob Inman, Steve Bjork, Terry Steen, the Backyard Shed Gang, Tom C., Tom S. Those are some of our patrons. I want to thank the cast and crew of the CoCoTALK show, which would be not including but not limited to Curtis Boyle, David Ladd, Mark Overholzer, Grant Leedy, Bruce Moore, Nick Marentes, Ron Delvaux, Rick Adams, Jason Reichard, Richard Lorbieski, Jim Brain, Tom C., Rob Inman, Mark Bosley, Brian Joyce, Ken Reichard, David O'Connor, Brian Weasler, Terry Steggy, Nick Marotta, John Strong, and many, many more. Especially to Steve Bjork for his production suggestions, making sure we stay on target, and to James Diffendaffer for making my head explode.
Sounds like we're wrapping up the show.
That's it.
Yeah,
And last,
good night, everybody.
last but certainly not least, we want to say thank you to all of those out there who watched the show, listened to the show, and just are
Steve,
part
you
of
weren't
our
in there.
community.
Steve?
I was in there.
He was.
Yeah, but you did really well.
Yes.
Thank you, Stevie, for your gameplay videos, which is why I'm here in the first place.
Great.
And for the community that you've helped build here, and for including us in your show, and just being an all-around great guy.
And setting the bar so low.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who else's head would explode on a show?
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows? So I know I'm sure we covered a lot, and it took a while to get there, but I'm pretty sure we didn't we didn't do it enough justice. There's too many things to be thankful for, but hopefully we did a halfway decent job here.
Who's responsible for the dumpster fire?
Richard Lorbieski keeps it going.
Yeah, yes.
Yep. He's troll number one.
Someone, no doubt.
He's keeping the flame alive.
When it gets too low, he adds more gasoline.
Yeah,
he's got
eyebrows.
He's also got excellent people skills.
Absolutely. But yeah, so everybody who comes out every week and watches the show and listens to the show and is part of the live experience or part of the replays, thank you. You're too kind. All right. All right. So Ben Drake says, lovely presentation, guys. Humbled to get a mention alongside such giants. When we have giants like Nick Marotta, we all are in the shadow of that. So why don't we take another commercial break, and then we'll be back with our next segment, which I'm not even sure what our next segment is. It a Game On segment, L. Curtis?
We can do that, or we can also do the little discussion on the SCART stuff that Roshi, who's in the chat, actually was the one that in particular was asking about it earlier. So
we can do that. All right. So we have our choices of commercials right now. We can do a Nightmare Highway commercial. We could do a switcheroo commercial with CoCo 3 and the big plans. We can do the shortwave commercial. We can do the OS9 forever. I think we should do OS9 in honor of Nick Marionettes.
Do you have the David Ladd one, the floppy one that Brian Joyce did?
I do. You want to see the David Ladd story?
I'll throw that in there at some point.
Okay, that also includes CoCo Do. So we'll start off with a little CoCo Do, and then we'll get into
bonus
floppy
coverage.
Life. There we go. All right, so it's time to potty. Ron Delvaux, you may go to the bathroom now.
Okay.
You are watching CoCoTALK, the world's leading weekly video podcast, featuring a Tandy color computer. We spread the love to the past, present, and future for all models, including the original color computer, the CoCo 3, and the world-renowned exclusive French-Canadian CoCo 2, the Radio Shack.
CoCo2, c'est le coq champignon, des micros et dans le pion. Pour le jeu, il est pas bavard, les études, c'est pas bizarre. L'expansion, il adore ça, les commandes, tu vas voir ça. Notre CoCo est programmable, pour tes cours, c'est bien serviable. CoCo2 de Radio Shack, ton affaire est dans le sac.
Un ordinateur couleur qui a de la personnalité. Le CoCo 2 de Radio Shack. En solde pour Noël à partir de 149,95.
CoCo2 de Radio Shack, ton affaire est dans le sac. C'est toi et CoCo2.
And now, CoCo Thoughts by Samuel Gimes. If you're using your color computer in Quebec and it stops working, is it now a CoCo won't do?
8-slot MPI, floppy drive, CoCo SDC, Sound Speech Pack, Orchestra 90, RS-232 pack, modem pack, Super IDE. You start adding all those together if you want them all usable at the same time. Well, guess what? You just went over the 4-slot MPI.
Hi, it's Curtis Boyle, part of the CoCoTALK crew of people, and a lot of us are here down at the CoCo Fest, having a great time. It's the second day, and we're just about done, so you guys have to come out next year.
All situations depicted in this trailer actually happened. This true story has been anonymized to protect the guilty. Starting in the dead of winter, a group of bored teenagers blew stuff up, learned code cracking, learned phone freaking, hijacked and hacked. No system was safe. No one could catch them, or so they thought. A true story at the dawn of the internet. System hacked.
And we are back. Now, has Simon joined us? Is Simon going to join us? Does anybody know? Is he going to be able to join us in person? I do have a brand new demo for the CoCo VGA by our own madman Simon Jonason that we will air and premiere live on the show. But I will give him time.
I've seen no sign of him.
Okay,
no.
Well, that's
he
fine.
was on it early. He has to take care of his wife, so it's hard.
Okay.
It's probably pretty late there too.
It's 5 hours ahead, so it's 8:30. He's in
Well,
UK,
you could run
he's in
it
UK time. Yeah. Well, we'll
And if
do
he
the
comes
game
back-
on segment to give him some time to see if he'll be able to join us, and if he can't, we'll do an exclusive premiere of Simon Jonason's.
I'll text him.
CoCo VGA demo. Curtis Boyle, are you ready for your game on segment?
You want to do that first, or do you want to do the SCART?
The SCART discussion.
Yeah, since Roshi's actually in chat there.
Okay.
Jason, if you want to explain exactly what it does, what it does with composite, what it does with RGB, and
okay, what it does. Yes. Let's see here. Basically, what we're doing here is we're taking the RGB signal from the CoCo 3, and we're running it through a SCART converter, SCART cable here. It's all hooked up right now, but. And what we're doing is we're taking that RGB signal and we're feeding it into a converter. I have another one here, just like so, and you can go to an HDMI output. And what that's doing here is, as I have up here, is it's giving a signal on this case a flat screen modern display. I'm also running a CMA, but that's a whole nother issue. I have a Y cable on there I call a Wallaby. Now the nice thing about this is as most of us know, if you don't know, there's the artifact color mode in the color computer that was used back in the color computer 1 and 2 days on your NTSC systems. And of course that doesn't work if you're in Europe or on a PAL system or anything other than NTSC, but it also doesn't work on RGB. And this is something I didn't know about until I got a CoCo 3. And I went and loaded one of my favorite CoCo 1 and 2 games. I went ahead and loaded Sailor Man, and I come to find, I'm like, what happened to the color? It's all black and white now. So that's when I had to look into the whole thing there. And you can see I'm so prepared here, but I had to go ahead and look into the whole thing of why am I not getting color on my brand new CoCo 3 CM8? Why am I not getting any color? And as you can see here, you can see on the CM8, it's black and white. I should be getting because you get if the screen is red, hit the enter key. If the screen is red or blue, hit the clear key. And of course, we don't have that here. And it's the same up top there. Now, if I flip the toggle switch on the switcheroo, then what we're doing is now we're feeding the SCART converter with the composite signal, and we can now get the artifact colors and play these older games like Sailor Man and everything. Now, granted, I will admit the composite output on the CoCo 3 is not the best, but it's really darn convenient to have the toggle switch.
Yeah,
and be able
it's good
to
enough
just
for the games. It's not good for text.
Yeah,
but it's good enough for games.
Absolutely, that's one thing I've brought up many times. Like, it's really just for that. And other than that, I would just go ahead and keep on with the. See, I'm moving around. I must have unplugged it.
Right.
But
so
it's good enough for text. It looks terrible, but the CoCo 3 composite is generally terrible. I only recommend using the composite output for your P mode for artifact color games like Sailor Man or Zaxxon, or you pick a ton of them. There's a ton of them out there. And
right.
You get the switcheroo, and you need a converter box, and you can get a SCART to HDMI converter box. I don't sell them. I have a list of suggested converters on my site, and I do. I even have a link to an article of ones to avoid. You want to about the 20. It's about $40 range. I've gotten them as low as, like, the one I'm using right now was about $25. I wouldn't go any lower than $25. 25 to 40 is fine. Anything below that, you're going to get something that is not going to do RGB. I've lost track of how many
composite
support. Yeah, it won't do. They only do composite. I've gotten so many. This doesn't work right. I'm having an issue, and I go, "What did you get?" And it's usually one of those converters that does not do RGB, and it just ignores. You can feed it RGB all day, and it just doesn't do anything.
Does this do anything with the actual RGB on the CoCo 3 as well?
Do anything in what way?
Like, could you plug in from the analog RGB on the bottom of the CoCo 3 as well, or is this strictly composite?
No, this is not strictly composite. No, this is not strictly composite. No, you're also plugging into the RGB port on the bottom of the CoCo 3. And so, just like when you flip the toggle switch back over to RGB mode, the converter now knows to look at the RGB pins that's coming directly from the bottom of the CoCo 3. And that's just and there's also a power supply you need. It's just a simple USB cable. That way, no matter where you are in the world, you can get a USB power supply. That way, you don't have to worry about any of the different voltage standards throughout the world. But basically what that toggle switch is doing, it's switching that voltage on and off because there is a particular pin, I believe it is pin 16 on the SCART connector, that it has to see a voltage between 1 and 3 volts to tell that converter box, look at the RGB pins instead of the composite pins. And even if you're not going to use composite for some reason, you still need to be able to plug that composite cable into the composite jack on the back of the CoCo 3, because that's where the SCART converters is looking for the video sync. So at that point, I figured, why not, just have an option, make it easy to be able to switch to the composite signal for things like Sailor Man or any of those type of games.
Okay, so if you're playing a CoCo 3 game and it's got an RGB mode, which generally looks better than composite anyway, you can actually run that through as well. Right, yeah. So you get your pure RGB colors, plus you get artifacting colors all connected on the same, HDMI through the converter type thing. Your SCART.
Right, and I guess that's really the selling point, is that you're getting all the RGB colors on the switcheroo, and the composite P mode for the CoCo older 1 and CoCo 2 games. It's just kind of a bonus, really.
Yeah.
It's an RGB to HDMI converter too.
Yeah.
Right. It's exactly. It's feeding. It's converting either RGB or composite depending on what you're telling it on pin 16, which in this case is simplified by just flipping the toggle switch one way or the other.
Well, it's anything you can get a SCART adapter for, because I'm actually running on not components, the high def analog with the 5 inputs. So I'm running component on my TV. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, and I've had some folks over. I mean, I've never been able to test it, because SCART was a French standard for video, and pretty much all your analog videos on that port. It was started in France. It did make its way out into Europe, and I haven't had the chance to test that, but I have heard from some folks in Europe that have bought it and said it looks great. They've hooked it up to their SCART television without a converter. Now, again, if you're in Europe, unless you have an NTSC CoCo 3 and a monitor that will handle NTSC, you won't get the artifact coloring for the old games, but you will get a crisp RGB picture. You will get clear 80 column text. That's a big thing that does not look good on composite at all, is the 80 column screen.
Yeah, but if you're using the RGB side of things, it looks just as good as an RGB monitor, if not.
Oh yeah, it looks just as good as the CM8. No, if not better. But and you see, you have all the levels right. I have blue and different shades of blue. I have that, and it does work rather well.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, very crisp output on HDMI. I mean, it's just rock
I
solid,
was using
perfect.
it last night when we were playing Digger 3.
And it looked great. I did catch part of that. Now I should mention, I mean, now you can spend the $25 to $40 some range US for a SCART to HDMI converter. Now there are some higher end ones out there that are even lower latency, and they're big in the retro gaming community that you may spend upwards of $200 on. Now,
or even higher.
Absolutely. I think the sky's the limit on those. Now, once you get into those higher end converters, I will warn you that they do not do composite conversion. They'll still need the composite signal for the sync, but they will not do the artifact gains. But I think at that point, the folks that are using those aren't interested in the artifact colors. And but I have had a few people that have used those, and it's like it doesn't do anything on composite. It actually doesn't even look at pin 16. So it doesn't matter what the toggle switch does in that case if you're using one of those super expensive converters.
Okay, thank you very much, Jason. And I just wanted to say to Roshi, do you have any further questions? Just put them up in the chat.
Feel free to contact me on my website, cocoman.biz. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. Anybody that.
I was just going to chime in if I can.
Yeah, go ahead, Barry.
So, yeah, it's possible to get a sync signal from the RGB connector on the bottom. The sync pin, obviously, it has a sync there, but the problem is that the levels on the sync are basically the wrong polarity and wrong voltage levels to go into the SCART system. And it just so happens that the sync on the composite output is exactly correct for what the SCART wants. So it always pulls the sync signal from the composite using this cable. And then the RGB signal for the video is pulled from the pins on the bottom of the color computer. And
that's similar if you're hooking up like Atari and Amiga monitors and stuff, because some of those had different polarities and stuff. You had to do a little circuit to flip it around, if I remember.
Yeah, so that's very similar circuit will work with an Atari or an Amiga monitor. It's exactly the same principle. So, I mean, it would have been possible to take the sync pins on the RGB connector and run it through electronics and synthesize a sync from that, but it's just not, you pull a composite video and it's got the sync right there, and the converter ignores the rest of the video on there when it's in RGB mode. So it works fine.
Right, because the Color Computer 3 has separated horizontal and vertical sync, and just like you said, Barry, yeah, you could do it with circuitry, but in this case, it's already there. Why
it's
add
free.
more
Why not
to
use
it?
Yeah.
Why add more components?
Right, and I'll try to summarize what our different output options were from the CoCo 1, 2, and 3. Right, so your original CoCo 1 and 2 only had one output. It was the RF output. Right, so that was a single RCA jack went to your TV. Gave you picture and sound, and that also gave us artifact colors, which most of our better arcade style games used. The nice thing about the CoCo 3 is it introduced a true RGB output, which is a standard generic RGB output, and Tandy released a rebranded Magnavox monitor they called the CM8, which was a nice RGB CRT. And on the plus side, it was very sharp, nice color. On the minus side, the CM8 did not give us the artifacting that we were used to on our television sets. Now, what Jason has done, and by the way, since Barry's here, Jason's design is based on Barry's original design, is taking the RGB output from the bottom of the CoCo 3, which is a fairly standard analog RGB, and it's converting that to SCART, which is basically another form of a European RGB signal. SCART is basically analog HDMI, is what it boils down to. It's an analog RGB with combined audio. So he's converting CoCo RGB to SCART RGB, and then you just need a SCART to HDMI converter box, which is a generic box. The benefit of that box is you can use it in more than just a CoCo, because there are a lot of adapter cables for a lot of other retro systems. So there's like a Super NES to SCART cable. There is a Sega Genesis to SCART cable. So there's a lot of other third-party cables that will adapt the retro system to SCART. And so this one box becomes a universal SCART to HDMI adapter. And HDMI is what all of our newer modern displays have. So that converter box you have to buy. It's a necessary evil, but it can become a multi-purpose evil if you've got other vintage systems you also want to upgrade to HDMI. On the plus side as well, it has it also, the one I have has an HDMI input and a SCART input on the one side. So you can actually use that to upscale certain things. And I'm using this as an example. I have a VGA to HDMI adapter, and it outputs a VGA signal, but that VGA signal, sometimes VGA goes into modes that some TVs can't handle, like an 800 by 600 mode or other oddball modes. And so sometimes a really dumb TV won't handle a VGA. Too many damn abbreviations, right? So if you're trying to convert VGA to HDMI directly, there are some modes that VGA produces that HDMI TV can't accept. If you happen to pass that through this box, it will convert that to a fixed 720p or 1080p signal that all TVs will recognize. So that's an oddball application, but if you buy this box, you can get multiple uses out of it in some circumstances.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well said, Stevie.
All right. All right. So are we going to go on to Game On?
Sure. Let me find my window here.
And we do have thank you to Nick Marentes, who brings the professional to professional show. We'll go ahead and do our little Game On intro as Curtis gets himself ready. Or not. There we go. All right, everybody, get ready for Game On, a segment where we talk about, of all things, gaming. Today, Curtis Boyle's got something special in store for us. Probably not his mullet. All right. Take it away, L. Curtis Boyle.
Okay. Now, first up, since we just were talking with Roshi about the SCART converter and stuff here, is the show that got him into the CoCo, Game On. They've been kind of busy doing some CoCo videos lately. So Aaron here, actually, one of the featured games here recently on their show was Buzzard Bait. So we decided to actually do a full playthrough, just, generally playing the game, going through how it compares, with the arcade game, etc. You can see the familiar artifacting red screen there.
Now, is that on a CoCo 2 or 3? Do we know? Is that a switcheroo?
I think he's running this on the CoCo 3.
With the switcheroo.
With composite. Yeah.
Okay.
And go ahead.
Yep. Buzzard Bait. Very familiar.
Yep. This is kind of funny, too, because he's one of the ones that prefers Buzzard Bait over Lancer. And I think, Stevie, both you and I prefer Lancer just because the flight mechanics are a bit better. So it's interesting. It'd be interesting to have people like Roshi, after they try both of them, have a vote and see what.
Yeah, and that looks pretty clean. That signal there looks pretty clean.
Sorry, I'm Team Buzzard Bait.
Yeah.
Yep, Buzzard Bait's good. It's an awesome one.
Team Buzzard Bait.
Yep, that's a pretty, that's
I
a pretty
get
clear
Team Buzzard
signal.
Bait T-shirt.
Well, let me tell you where you guys are wrong. But
Yeah. Cool.
Anyway, it's a pretty fun gameplay video. It's
and it does have all
minutes.
the other benefits. It does have the egg wave and the survival wave and the team wave.
Yep, they both do. They're both pretty good clones. I mean,
It's funny.
You're not going to go wrong with either.
In this video, again, Aaron started off by saying it was missing the egg wave, but then
It's
he
not.
hit the egg wave.
Yeah.
But then he hit it, and he goes, "Oh, it does have the egg wave." I guess I was wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
probably forgot which level, like which screen it's on.
It's missing the microwave, I believe.
Good thing you still have your shortwave.
That big egg comes out of that bird.
So he's saying I have the CoCo running into a VCR with S video out to condition the signal so I can capture it on a PC.
Oh, that's an interesting solution.
Ken Reichard says Lancer fans get the one finger wave.
Yeah, the thumbs up one finger.
Yes,
That's what we're talking
all right.
about.
We should tell Aaron about Zipster's adapter to go from RGB to S video.
Yeah. No,
Okay,
but
we
yeah,
have
that picture is really clear.
We have
Okay.
to throw down one of these weeks.
And whose video this is this now?
This is another Aaron one. On their ARG Presents, which does specific topics, him and his brother actually do it, and it's usually topics lately have been some obscure computer system that nobody's ever heard of, type of thing. But this last one they did edutainment, which is basically educational games.
Mm-hmm.
And Aaron actually picked a CoCo game, a CoCo version of a game that's actually cross-platform, and it's Donald Duck's Playground. And of course, I had to pause here just because it's OS 9, so gotta push that.
And I seem to recall this one had some pretty good artifact dithering and stuff, right? Some of the Disney
decent,
ones
as
did.
you can see here.
Yeah,
a bit of the cross hatching and stuff to kind of give you the other colors.
How many colors can you get total with dithering?
A good 6 to 9, probably.
Yeah, I mean, you can get yellows and purples, and all, like if you look at Sands of Egypt, that's a good example of it. To Preserve Quantic is another good one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the game's pretty primitive, and it was funny watching the review because there was some pretty scathing parts of this. If I remember correctly, the box says this is recommended for like 7 to 10-year-olds, and
okay,
basically agreed that no, this is probably more for like 4 and 5-year-olds.
Oh,
except
okay.
maybe the money part of it.
Okay.
But anyway, you can watch the ARG Presents that actually reviewed the 2 games. They did another one, I think it was called Number Muncher, was the second game that they picked for the edutainment one. But they happened to pick the CoCo version of this. I mean, this is also on the Commodore and the PC and a bunch of others too. So.
How long do I want to work? 1 minute? Wow, is a millennial here?
Good that Donald
their
Duck
attention span,
suits-
I guess.
Yeah.
It's good that Donald Duck suits the artifact colors too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does work out quite well for him. And then speaking of the edutainment episode, this is it here. I don't know if you guys have watched this show. It's not specifically CoCo related. It's all retro.
That's a cool. That's a cool intro graphic there.
And there's the 2 brothers there. So, which we'll be interviewing both of them and John Boat Schaller next week. So, guys, pop by for that and ask them any questions you want.
Very cool.
I like the fact here Brent's trying to look all smart like a teacher or something.
Yeah. Good use of green screen technology there.
Yeah.
Oh, what is this, like
So-
a freaking Scrabble Tetris?
Well, they kind of went through some other just general like quick picks type thing of some educational games, and then they get into the 2 main ones. So this is part of the Number Muncher. So they kind of
Okay.
go through that one for a bit, and then of course they do the Donald Duck's
And
Playground.
are these live or are these pre-recorded?
You can catch them live on their Twitch page. As far as YouTube goes, because they've been put in YouTube jail for reasons that we've also had at times.
I've never been
they
put in
basically-
YouTube jail, though. What is YouTube jail?
where
I mean,
stuff gets pulled on you.
No. Well, one video got pulled. Yeah, the one with the cowbell. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, they record them live on Twitch.
Okay.
And I think REG is normally like really early in the morning on Sundays, if you want to catch that one live. And then they release the clipped out little bit of the
Okay.
preamble and stuff taken
Gotcha.
out.
Oh, that's neat how you can move a ladder around and stuff.
Yeah.
And this is also on the CoCo. I'm taking from the artifact
Yeah,
colors.
this is the same game actually. He did the playthrough.
Oh, the Donald Ducks one. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
this
so
is
it's
the
kind of
CoCo
like a
version.
lot of different mini games in that Donald Duck thing, huh?
Yeah, there is.
Okay.
I think at least 4 or 5. There's like a train track one in the
Oh,
ladder.
where was there nudity?
Well, Donald Duck's not wearing any pants.
Yeah, Donald Ducks is not wearing any pants.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. No, that's cool. I like the little layout they got going on there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, check that out. It's an interesting video, and just getting into the educational games too, because I think a lot of us in our youth remember some of those.
Yeah, I remember thinking anything that they tried to teach me was lame. I don't want to learn stuff. I want to play. I want to blow stuff up and shoot stuff. I don't want to learn anything.
You might see level 2 on that one, though, Stevie.
Yeah.
You mean you weren't having a blast with the new
I was
math
not
tutor?
having a blast with the new math tutor. Okay. What is?
You should play Math Bingo instead.
Yeah, I remember seeing this on the mailing
We
list
have
too.
to
What is
watch
the
Commodore
plural?
now?
What is the plural of flogger? What does that mean?
Okay, this is Henry Reichfeld, and this is an interesting one. You guys will have to tell me if this is too loud, because basically what he did is he took all the retro systems that he has.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got Dragons and CoCos and Commodore 64s, etc., the Coleco Atom, And because all of those platforms have the official licensed Frogger, he decided to play them all simultaneously. So they're all running their demos with all the sound coming through from every single one of them.
Okay.
So let me know if this is too loud, but we'll play a little clip of it. Actually, it's only a minute. I'll let it go through.
Okay, Commodore. I don't hear anything right now, Curtis.
No, me either.
Oh,
No.
still not? Okay, let me stop the share and I'll just start that up again because I think I probably forgot to click it.
And DeBruce is here.
Okay, can you guys see the screen again?
I see the screen, yeah.
Howdy.
Okay.
Hey, it's Minoral Bruce.
Here we
You
go.
hear it now?
Yep. Oh, what a nightmare. Huh?
Tyler, the CoCo 3 doesn't have the right RGB color set.
Wow. This is a punishment worse than death.
Kind of reminds me of this show at times.
It's kind of fitting our theme, isn't it?
This reminds Stevie who's trying to get across the street at
Yeah.
what was it, Roosters?
Yeah. Ding, 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 ding.
Don't they make auto tune for fixing things like this?
It already shows auto-tune.
Okay, well, we've lost all our listeners.
Is this what it sounds like in YouTube jail?
Anyway, I just thought it's fascinating. They actually got them all running simultaneously.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
I'll talk.
Actually, the Model 1 version of Frogger is really good, and the music is really good too.
Yeah. I think the music on each of them is actually pretty good if you're playing it just by itself.
Individually, but collectively they're a little out of sync.
Yeah. Collectively, it's second only to waterboarding.
I'd rather be married again.
10, TP10. TP10.
That's got to be the best segment ever.
You
Thanks,
got a
guys.
TP10 and the music coming out of that TP10.
TP10.
Yeah, it runs a printhead and do the tones.
Yeah.
Kind of like
Actually,
floppy
it's-
drive music things.
Climbing up there to jump off the ledge. It's done with it too.
Oh, wow. All right, what's next, Curtis? In the gaming. Oh, right. This is the guy with
this
the lava
is
lamps.
Geiger Punk again. He's released a video of Talking Android Attack, which was the Spectral Associates game formerly called Robot Battle until Tandy said, no, we're coming out with the Robot Battle. You got to change your name. This is the Dragon. Once you can see the Dragon documentation here. Now, he had never really heard the Dragon speak before. So I will skip all this preloading stuff because it takes quite a while to load.
Micro deal software. Love it.
And
Select
of course,
color, black, boof, or green.
Yep. Definitely pick buff or black for this one.
Is Cornwall where they are from or something?
Okay, I remember. This is where it goes, coward.
Yeah. You guys hear that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can I pick that up now? No, apparently not.
I like the fact that he finds directions after he's played the game, though. That's kind of fascinating.
It sounds weird. Oh, okay. I shot that one twice and it's gone away now.
Hey, where are you going? That's not the way out there, idiot.
This sounds weird. Is it meant to sound like this?
Oh, I didn't even know you could kill the ghost. So when they
Android's
turn into
talking.
ghosts, you kill them a second time, huh?
Yeah. They can travel through walls, though. So.
Why is the... Oh. I think that was meant to be speech.
Another comment
Oh, he's harsh.
normally heard about this show.
I really like his videos because he has a good sense of humor about the whole thing. So it's entertaining even if the game's not.
Is that a good thing?
Is that a good thing? Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah, you
Did
can
I
pick it.
shot him twice?
The other funny thing for me is that there's
Okay,
one of the
someone's
speech
bleeding
things he
through the
never did
ceiling.
figure out what exactly it says.
And then one of them says coward.
What the?
Yeah, that one he figured out. I think it was kill human next time or something like that.
Do a little jump
Yeah, the
thing.
shooting on this one is weird. You have to hold down the button and then move the
Finally moving
stick
into
in the
my
direction
bullets.
you want to fire, or
Yeah, and if you hold on the button, you can also do that ducking and jumping thing where you can dodge bullets.
The analog joystick, because I can take my hand off and I'm still walking in the same direction.
And he's playing with the Loosey Goosey, the
control.
dragon
Oh my
equivalent
God.
of the Black
Black
Beauty.
Beauty.
So.
Yeah.
Not a clue what you said there.
Not the clue what you said there. That's cool. All right, what's next, Curtis?
It's a fun, entertaining video. Go check it out.
That looks good. Dragon Data Limited Smasher.
Oh, that's out of order. Why the heck is that? Oh, well,
Just
I'll
do
just wing
9.
it. I'll just wing it.
Enter
Okay,
speed
this
level.
is the famous segment of Pets Ask Jim 1, who does a ton of dragon videos and alphabetically, roughly. So this first one's called Smasher, which is a semi-graphics game, actually.
Oh, that looks cool.
This is kind of roughly based on a really old arcade game. It was a Wild West one, if I remember. You had wagons
okay.
and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, and it bounced back.
Yeah. Outlaw, I think is.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not quite, but it's similar.
Yeah.
It's a 2-player game, of course, and he's only got 1 player here, so
Yeah.
it's going to be kind of one-sided.
So
But you
what
got
are
to try to
trying
kill those things
hit?
on the far ends, the green alien-like things.
Okay. I thought he was trying to shoot the other gun. Okay, so you got to break through the wall and get the green meanies on the other side of the wall.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a little bit of a different gameplay than Outlaw is, but
yeah, that's neat.
Yeah.
So you can find where he actually hits one.
I see the similarity. Yeah.
There's no score on that screen.
Looks like he got one, maybe.
Oh, yeah, maybe I missed one here. Where did he shoot it?
Now he's got him shooting in both directions.
Because
Oh,
that'll
just back up.
convert to a CoCo
Okay.
thread line.
There you go. It
Wasn't
makes a
that worth
noise.
it?
Yeah, it was. Okay. Next. Smasher. Huh? That's cool.
Okay, Sporting Decathlon. This is another Olympic-style game, which we've seen several of those before. This one's written in BASIC.
Oh, okay.
And you've got several options of how you want to play it with keyboard or joystick and you're pressing keys to run or jump or whatever. So just fast forward a bit.
Is this a
I know
game
this
or
is
is
for
this
Stevie here. He doesn't read
Is
directions.
this a
so I'll
sporting
just-
game or a text adventure? And Stricyak says, "Hey everybody, I've got some news." Okay, here we go. Here's some graphics. Type run and press enter. What was all that other shit before? Okay. Sporting Decathlon.
Fast forward a bit here.
Can your color computer use the poke to speed up BASIC? Yes. Ooh.
That's a pretty neat little routine he
Yeah.
did there.
Which level of difficulty? Okay, that's cool. Oh, that's actually pretty cool. You got the
Yeah, for BASIC, it's a pretty decent game.
Yeah, all the different graphs and readouts and stuff. So he's jumping over hurdles. Okay, so Strick says, I got some news. I visited my brother's attic today, and I found hard copies of the source code to OS 9 Level 1 kernel Part 1 and 2. Oh, that's cool.
OS 9
Strick.
P1 and P2, that'd be cool. So if
Yeah.
if it's the documented version of it, yeah.
Is he
Wouldn't mind
jumping?
seeing that. Might
You
have
have
changed a lot
earned
of it.
third- That's really cool. That's... Now try 100 meters. And the font routine's pretty fast if this is in BASIC. Wonder if it's a hybrid.
It might be. I didn't actually look at the source, obviously, but
Yeah. We got a couple guys running in different lanes, yeah.
yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Stricyak. Yeah, that's neat.
It's all a matter of perspective. If it's in BASIC, it's awesome. If it's a machine, if it's a machine language, it sucks.
Yeah. I'll just do one more here for the javelin.
Oh, look at that, the javelin. Oh, yeah,
There you
look at
go.
that.
That's pretty good.
That is really good.
That was good.
Yeah, that's cool.
The whole scrolling to give you 400 meters. Can these guys jump too, or are they just running? Okay.
Nah, it's just running in this one.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's really cool. I like that.
Yeah. Pretty decent little game. I was pretty impressed by that one.
Yeah.
Oh, he says it's got all the comments too, Curtis, on that source code.
Oh, good.
Okay.
That would be interesting then.
Stone Raider 2. What's
This is
that?
a bouncing boulders style game,
Ooh.
which I think I featured on some other video way before, but this one's actually the dragon version, so it's in pure black and white instead of the fake.
So is that like Boulder Dash?
Can we show this on here?
Now, this is running in the way the Dragon people would have seen it. It's pure black and white. Or if
Okay.
you ran an RGB monitor for that matter. The one I think I showed before actually had the artifact, which it wasn't designed to do.
Okay.
So it actually didn't look as good as it, or
Oh,
the way it
wow.
was originally managed to be presented.
Because it was kind of rainbowy. with all
Yeah, it
kinds
was kind of the alternating red and
Looks good.
blue.
Yeah, I still
vertical.
say this game is way too cerebral
Looks
for
like
me.
Mario.
So,
You were never into Boulder Dash, Steve?
Looks like that Hawaiian drink. Guy.
you know what? I want to play it. I do. Maybe we'll do maybe we'll do some games tonight, and we'll include this in the gaming part. Because I never wrap my brain around this game. I don't know why. Maybe hopefully
Basically,
now.
collect the diamonds.
Yeah, I understand that part. I just don't know why. Something about the mechanics confused me. I know the things fall. I get it. I don't know why. I know back in the day I couldn't understand it. Maybe I can understand it now. Okay. This actually looks really good as just pure black and white too. It looks kind of like a Mac Classic game.
Yeah, and that's what it was designed to be.
Yeah, the guy looks surprisingly a lot like the Mario from Downland and Donkey King.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
Except this guy's, UK, so obviously he's totally different.
Yeah.
It's me, a fake Mario.
It's me, Cuthbert. I'm not the Mario. I'm a Cuthbert.
Hip hip, governor.
He does look like the Hawaiian Punch guy.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay.
This one here is called Strategic Command.
Ooh.
Yeah, shoot him up. Drop a bomb. What is it?
Okay, we got maps.
Kind of a risk type game.
That's cool.
Yes, it's kind of at least roughly risk based or risk
That is
based.
green, man.
Ronnie Chong's back, folks.
That's cool.
Go back to sleep, Ron.
Okay.
Dave's still not
If you're
here.
into the risk type games, I mean, we've got several ports out on the CoCo too, but there's the uniquely Dragon version. This one's called Supernova. What I liked is his little description at the beginning. If you read the top 3 lines.
I have not done this game entirely correctly, and so the title screen is a bit of a mess.
Now that's honesty in advertising if I've ever seen
But just press fire on the right joystick to start. Lay mines in the path of the meteors by pressing fire. When you run out, you must dock from underneath with the space station. You must be pixel perfect here and just touch it. Left, right arrows move the space station. P pauses. C plus a number. Key 1 to 4 changes colors. Okay.
Yeah. Now I will mention up front, I don't think he read this when he was doing the video. He just kind of skipped past it because he definitely doesn't do some of these things properly.
Okay.
But at least you can see what the game looks like.
I want to see this title screen. It's a mess.
That was it.
There it is.
All right. The whole screen looks like a mess right now. I'm not understanding what I'm looking at. Is this a checkerboard?
Got some multi-voice music going. I'll skip ahead to the gameplay.
And now David O'Connor is rolling in his grave, and he's not even dead yet. Okay,
Lot of
so
black, man.
those things are the meteors. You're the circle, I take it.
Yeah. And you can watch his shields go down as he keeps running into it.
Okay, yeah. Apparently, that's not a good thing.
Ow, 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 ow.
You're just okay, so you're a sphere, and you have
It's not
something
annoying at
about
all.
pressing a button to do something to the meteors.
Yeah,
And
and
you have to-
sometimes you have this little
you have
thing
to
that trails
dock-
around
Is
you
that
too,
the
which I'm not-
spaceship you need to dock with? Maybe the
I
space
think
station?
so, and I think you have to go up from the bottom.
And
Looks like a tiny
Doesn't quite
Volkswagen
figure
with
out.
bent wheels.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
There's also these proton things, which is this little tick thing that circles your ship. That I'm not quite sure. You have to read the directions again to figure exactly what it's
Okay.
for, but I think he already killed it off at this point.
Hey, Dave and Sharon are here. Hey, Dave and Sharon, how are you? Okay, I've seen enough. My ears are bleeding.
Okay.
Supernova. It looks cool. Star Trek. Use the Force, Spock.
With skill level.
Oh, you want to piss people off?
So this one reminds me of a lot of the text-based Star
Yes.
Trek games that a lot of
Yes.
us had, except he's actually made a graphic font basically for it
Okay.
that kind of spices it up a little bit.
Yes, it does. It's very spicy.
And that same 3-digit, I think it's like how many stars and how many.
Okay, and the
bases and how
spaceships
many-
actually look like Klingon ships and Enterprises and stuff. Yeah. So we
He
got
chose
some-
a nice, byte style font too. So
Yeah.
it was an interesting presentation. I mean, it's basically in BASIC too. So
Yeah, no, that's neat. So it's a spicy version of the text-based version of Star Trek. So you got nice, cool alien fonts. You got graphical representation of your spaceships in the window. No, that's cool.
Yeah,
I like that. Nice touch.
Spicy, species, people.
Spicy. All right.
This one here, it loads as Grenadier, or however you pronounce that, but then it actually says it's Special Air Service. So I don't know. what
Grenadier.
the discrepancy is.
Special Air Service. Oh, this is like the teletype thing.
Training.
What I like is he actually builds the characters. He's using one of the higher semi-graphics modes, but he builds the characters up from the bottom to make them grow out.
Yeah.
Which is a really cool effect.
Yeah, you can do that with semi-graphics.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, to print a character, you gotta
print every single scan line. Yeah.
Yeah.
But just the way he drew those on, that was kind of neat. I hadn't seen that before.
Yeah,
so
let's
it's
see
kind
it.
of a-
Let's see what you're talking about. Press a
and
bloody
it's
key
all
already.
these directions just for Steve. So.
There's no A key on my keyboard.
Okay.
It's only on the Canadian one.
And there's more directions.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. I bet you're...
There's the actual game.
Okay.
And don't ask me to explain this game because I have no idea what's going on.
Okay, I think that's a helicopter, and I think he just took a crap. Oh shit! There's a helicopter.
Well, good night, everybody.
That's probably not what the game's about, but that sounds like an interesting concept. I might have to write down. What do you want to call it? Crapcopter? Or what?
Yeah, crapcopter. Okay.
Anyway, it's a basic game. Some ML subroutines, like you notice some of the clicks and explosions and stuff are a bit more fancy than basic.
No, that's cool. Yeah, you couldn't get sounds like that in basic.
Not in basic, no.
Super Lander, but Jim Morrison, besides being a prolific rock star, he made a lot of great Dragon software too. Thanks, Jim.
Yeah. How did he have time to write all those Doors songs by writing all this Dragon stuff? I have no idea.
Yeah.
But this is basically a
That's what
Lunar
all the
Lander
songs
style.
are about.
Now the sound's pretty grating, I'll warn you.
What are you talking about? This is music to my ears.
Let me turn up the bleed level.
Is this one of David O'Connor's new tracks?
Dave's
I
not
mean, yes,
here.
the name of the track is called Cheese Grater for your ears.
And in parentheses it says Mac Pro, but basically, yeah. So basically, it's just a simple Lunar Lander game, and he crashes a lot during his demo.
Okay.
It's a lot like Gravatar.
Or even like a little bit of Lunar Lander-ish. Hangman is about what I need with the segment right now, so.
Next up is Super Skill Hangman. This is another basic game. It's a standard Hangman game with some graphics. He did the presentation pretty well, though. I mean, it looks a bit better than a lot of
look
the
at that.
Hangmans I've seen.
That looks good. The fonts are cool. It's got a bold font and then regular font.
Yep, you can enter your name. Skip ahead a
I
bit.
want to see blood, man.
Do you want the timer?
Please wait.
Then it switches to a higher res mode.
Okay, look at that. P mode 4. Oh, look at that. This is really detailed. Super Skill Hangman.
Oh, it's like 3D, an isometric 3D. Oh, it's not isometric 3D.
Genuine simulated 3D.
The password
Rich Corinthian
is,
leather.
But you can see it
Oh, look
gradually.
at that!
draws the guy in.
That's cool. The details on the person.
Poor
is-
guy.
yeah.
No, I feel bad for him.
He's got a belt, but no
I mean,
pockets.
at the moment, even though he's got a noose around his neck, he still seems to be somewhat content. When does his expression start to change?
How does his eyeballs pop
Next
out?
leg.
If only
If I remember too, I think he loses this first once we get to see this guy, actually get hanged.
Oh, Oh no, the word is orchard.
See, now he's not smiling anymore.
Gloom, you lost. So now he got sad. Okay, now he got sad. It'd be funny if his
This
eyes
is
turned
why
to X's
computer
too, right?
games
So-
are banned.
There's that nice line box fill. super
early
slow,
early
basically.
version of computer violence there.
Yeah.
That's right, man.
Anyway, it's a pretty well presented graphically as far as a
absolutely
Hangman
is.
game. So
Absolutely is. That's cool.
give him props for that.
Mad props.
Yeah, looks good.
Okay.
Super Kid. This one has digitized speech. The game's kind of a little bit strange. It's basically a jumping game. Well, I'll let you guys see it here.
Oh. I think Neil Blanchard reviewed this one time before because it had
That's
really
awesome.
good music.
Yeah, he did actually.
Look at
It's
the
got this
lovers.
nice bluesy tune that it plays, and it's multi-voice.
Now it'd be
There's
cool if you
lovers
could
in the
play
middle.
this during the game. But
Look at the lovers. In the middle. Lovers.
oh, lovers, yeah.
Yeah. Lipstick.
Even got the little graphics, or the credits in the middle there. Graphics by Chris Warren, programming by so and so.
It has Trump and Melania.
That's pretty cool music.
Absolutely.
And he actually has the animation going at the same time and updates the credits.
It's the Super Kid Shuffle.
And it has pretty long musical intros on the beginning.
You think? Oh, that's actually really good digitized speech. Go get him, Super Kid.
And multi-plane graphics. Even the CoCo 1 and 2 had it, or the Dragon, I should say.
Hey, look out for that snail. The guy's going to get you eventually.
I'm going to fast forward because he had to figure out the controls here. So I'm
There's
skip ahead to where he actually had
snail
it figured out.
accident.
The music's really
Yeah.
Nail violence.
Yeah.
comical at the end there.
Listen to a whole
Comical
song
effect.
just because you died.
Super Kid. That's really cool.
And this is where he actually figured out the controls, so you'll actually see the actual gameplay instead of constant dying. But I think his musical interludes at the beginning of each level is a little too long.
I love that digital recording though. Go get him, Super Kid. Okay, that's a pickup, or is that not a pickup? Look out for that snail, kid. Jump over that snail, kid. All right.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Good, gravity's kind of
And
low.
that one.
There, he collected his first points. You collect the cherries that are hanging in the trees.
Oh, okay. That's kind of like a Nintendo style game. This reminds me of like, yeah. That's cool.
No, it's just a flesh wound.
There's a cherry tree.
I like this.
It's just a flesh
Super
wound.
Kid. He defies gravity.
Go
Has anyone
get 'em.
ported this to the
Don't as-
CoCo?
Don't assume
I
it takes
have
place
played it
on
on the
Earth.
CoCo.
Dino
They
Run.
did at some point.
Yeah, kind of like Dino Run a little bit. Oh, he must have hit the back of the snail.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
This is worse than what's worse than a vampire bunny? A
Stage
freaking
2,
lethal
you get
snail.
snakes added on too.
Yeah, this reminds me a lot of a Nintendo game I used to play that was called Adventure Island.
There's the game over sound.
Yeah. The music's good though. All right, make it stop.
It's a pretty cool game.
Good music. Make it stop now.
Yeah. Oh, that's a cool title screen. Look at this semi-graphics thing here. I got the shadow effect and everything.
Yeah.
Task ship.
So Task Ship is basically a scramble type game. Once again, I'll fast forward because he was figuring out the controls.
Looks like a guy making a shadow puppet with wings. You see this little hand up?
It does too.
With wings.
Yeah.
It's a dodo.
Oh, look at that. That's cool. It's, oh, you're shooting the wrong way, dude. Shit's in front of you. That's really cool. The scrolling's good on it. Why are you shooting backwards?
Looks like
That's the bombing he's shooting backwards,
Okay.
I think.
looks like a cheap pop star pilot.
It's very smooth.
Yeah, it's basically a scramble game, and we've got
Yeah.
a few of them. And the Dragon had a couple of unique scrambles we didn't get in North America too. So if you're a scramble
That's
fan,
one of
you've
those
got
killer
Whirlybird
snails.
Run and
Look out for the killer snail.
Your laser beam's a little
He is-
limited.
yeah, that's one big difference compared to the original game.
That's a cool little pattern there on the
With a laser in
mountains.
the wall.
Yeah.
Oops.
This is cool though.
Yep. And it's one I had not seen before. The previous one we did, I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. We did a few weeks ago. I had seen that one before. This one I'd never heard of.
The best
So we've
part
got at
about this
least
yeah,
5 or 6 scramble clones between the Dragon and the CoCo.
the best part of this laser sound is you can keep it going with rapid fire, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway.
Taking my headphones off for a second here. Holy crap.
Is that your passive aggressive way of saying you don't like the sound?
Nick always says, try and stay alive.
A surprise mystery game. What's it about? We don't know.
Now, this is a basic game, too.
I hope you enjoy the game. The game of surprise, all you have to do is reach the magic ring at the top left hand of the corner of the board. But before you can take it, you will need to obtain 7 items. These are magic spell to quieten the dragon at the chasm. Please press C to continue. There's 7 things you have. Okay, a rope to help you cross the chasm, a sword to defeat the goblin guard, a key to the tower, a lamp to guide your way, the combination to the strong room door, the magic spell that will enable you to use the magic ring to escape from the tower. Wow.
Did you say sword?
Sword.
Yeah,
yes.
he did.
Sword.
Sword. I swore I
Sword.
did.
I could have swore he said
I could have
sword.
sworn I did, yes.
Yeah, Stevie swords all the time.
Do you wish to play, read the rules again, or stop? Let's read the rules again, Curtis.
Yeah, let's read the rules again.
I love reading.
It's fundamental.
Okay, sound out the big words.
Is this kind of like a Minesweeper? Oh, so you don't know what's in some of these spots?
There's your rope, man.
Yeah, I think the first time he goes through, he has to run right to the circle in the upper left corner without getting into the object, so he doesn't do so.
Because it said you have to pick up 7 things.
You have to get the rope, man.
Well done. You found the sword, but don't lose it. Oh, so you don't know where those things are. They're just.
Yep.
Oh,
you get a
it's in one of the
box
white boxes
when you find them. Yeah.
You found the rope. Okay.
Oh, good, man.
I'm gonna.
The wizard has given you a spell to quiet the dragon. Keep it safe. You won't be able to.
Gonna smoke the rope, man.
What kind of rope is it?
With the dragon. The dragon's my lighter.
It's a hemp rope.
Off the magic dragon.
Well done. You found the lamp. Don't lose it. You'll need it to light your way to the tower. Can anything bad happen? You've fallen into a well and you've lost all your metal items you had. You will have to find some more. Oh, wow. Okay. So
where's your question immediately?
Where's the risk? Yeah. Well done. You found the key. Okay. Interesting. Fast forward it to where he gets to the end. I want to see what happens when he gets to the dragon.
Does he?
That's a lot of walking around there. I don't have that kind of time.
Start over here. So what's happened?
Oh dear, you've been trodden by a short. Oh dear, you've been
a giant. Therefore, the game is over. So.
You got trodden. I hate it when I get trodden.
Yeah,
you get trodden with your sword.
Yeah.
Every time you check a box, you don't know.
I don't think he actually did win it, so I'll just skip it. Now I'm going to do one that was out of order here because apparently I accidentally killed the tab. But
okay.
So this is from Ben Drakes. He did a play of Buzzard Bait, one of his favorite games. But this is what it looked like in the Dragon because it didn't have artifact in color.
It looks much better.
It does not.
Hashtag sarcasm.
Buzzard Bait.
He said it without
the box.
So what do you think? Do you think Nick Marotta, do you think this looks better or not?
No, I prefer the P Mode 4 colors.
Absolutely.
Any eggs yet?
Ken Reichert says still better than Lancer.
Yep. And Ken is still completely wrong.
Yeah, here's why you're wrong. Hey, Kevin, take care. Kevin Holloway says bye, all. Thanks for being here, Kevin.
Anyway, yeah, it looks quite different. So now you know why they were envious of our artifact colors.
Yeah.
Ends up being a problem with RGB.
It looks horrid.
They're not dropping huge eggs.
Yeah. All right, next.
That's it. I'm done. Game on.
We are done with game on, everybody.
What?
All right, everybody. That was another segment that we like to call Game On. Thank you, Curtis Boyle.
You're welcome.
All right.
Even though you're all wrong on Lancer versus Buzzard Bait.
What a mess. What a mess. Hey, DeBruce, are you there?
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. Bruce, did you see your mentioning in the community segment?
Nope.
Ah, you missed it.
Oh well.
Yeah.
All good, I hope.
It was only half a mention.
He's stuck in my left ear at the
He's
moment.
in mono again. Yeah, I don't know how you managed to be
You got to
mono.
fix that. You're supposed to be the audio guy, Bruce.
I have no idea, man.
Yeah.
Be even better if you could just
you
switch
might-
it from side to side. That'd be funny.
I have them in both ears.
I've only got him in one ear here.
It's like you.
Wait,
It's like you got pen controls. Settle.
Then maybe Mark is running
Like one of those, like one of those stereo test recordings. Left channel, left channel.
Yes. Hey, do we have project updates and acquisitions? Anybody have anything they want to share? Show and tell. Hey, Mark, did you?
Yeah, I do.
Hold on one second, David. Mark D. Overholzer, did you ever show off the stuff I sent you from DCF? Did I miss that on the show?
No, I never did.
Okay.
It wasn't actually Tandy related, so I didn't bother.
Okay. Well, it's still an acquisition.
Good boy.
Did you guys did you do my Joey and Coco?
No,
Not yet.
No.
Only the left side of it.
We also have.
Yeah, just Joey.
Do you guys want me to run the Simon Jonasson CoCo VGA
Yeah,
demo?
because he's not going to
He's
show
not
up. I
gonna be here.
texted him 500
Okay.
times.
All right. So we also have a brand new demo for the CoCo VGA brought to us by our very own madman, Simon Jonasson. I have not seen this. So we're all going to see it together for the first time and get genuine reactions.
Fine.
You ready? I'm about to execute it. Can you guys all see it?
Is this parental
Yes.
guidance?
Yeah, see it?
It says EXEC.
Push the button, Frank.
Ooh, you remember this?
Donut.
This was the Taurus demo that was on the
that-
CoCo 3 demo during CoCo Fest.
But this is CoCo 2.
This is on
Yeah.
the CoCo VGA. So this is like a 16 color mode that was previously unavailable on a CoCo 1 or 2. So this is a CoCo VGA demo of his Taurus.
Hit break and do the
nice.
Is it a
poke.
Is it a Ford Taurus?
I can't break it. Okay, and there was
Can't
something
break it.
No.
You can't break
Hit
it.
reset.
I'm gonna hit reset. What's the poke, Ron?
Oh, jeez. He's asking me
poke?
to poke.
There's
I'll
a
give it
poke
to
to
you in a
make this run
second.
at 60 frames per
I'll
second.
give
I'm
it to you in a second. It is. Got to type the word poke.
Uh-huh. Is it and H?
Yeah, and H. One. C.
Mm-hmm.
Got your glasses on?
Trying to
I'm on the edge of my seat here.
getting to it here. It's got, oh, okay.
Oh,
It's
my.
1CE9, comma 1.
Bingo! Oh, sorry.
9.
Okay, now
Where
we're
at?
running at 60 frames per second.
Oh, well.
Awesome.
Neat, huh?
That's flying.
I have it playing back here on my CoCo.
It's nice to see CoCo VGA software
Yeah.
that takes
Absolutely.
advantage of CoCo VGA. Look at the
Yeah.
stuff you can do with it. You know, with
That's
the
so cool.
color mode. Yeah.
Bruce says I'm getting hungry.
Say I'll install mine.
I brought my wife over. I said, take a look at this. What do you think? And she goes, it's a donut. Blue
donuts.
Donut. Now, the real accomplishment is if he can put sprinkles on that.
Yes,
Sprinkles.
Yes.
Yeah, we're
Do
never satisfied.
should I replay the part of Bruce Moore's section since he's now here to enjoy it?
Yeah, we did Simon's. So.
Because we mentioned
Just do the
wasn't
right
here.
ear. Just do the right ear.
just do the right ear version of it. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
I'm trying to find it from here. So I want to do this. I want to
You're pulling
do.
my leg. There never was one, right?
There's got to be there's a way to do.
Don't give it away. Shh.
Who is this guy again?
All right,
Hurry up,
so
throw
let's go
something
back over
together.
here. All right, we got it. So we did a section that we call special recognitions when I was going through my community thing, and for you, Bruce, we want to hear your
Okay.
reaction to this. I have dubbed you, if I can get my keyboard to work here, the king of all CoCo media
Whoa.
for your many contributions, from the CoCoTALK theme song to your ease of use Nick Marionette's video, Stuck in the Elevator, The Answer, He's Canadian, and so much more.
Coco forever.
That's right. So like your Forest of Doom, CoCo Forever, System Hacked, Joey and CoCo.
Wow.
You know, we forgot one very important one.
What's that?
Nick Marionettes for the switcheroo.
He mentioned Nick Marionettes on the first slide.
He did.
Oh, well, there you have it.
There you have it. All right. The man who brought us Nick Marionettes.
I mentioned your sound bites because that's
DeBruce
still
Moore.
one of the really nice things you did.
DeBruce.
Oh, Nick Marota.
Yeah. So what do you think of that title, DeBruce? King of all CoCo Media. Does that work for you?
He used an uppercase K.
How about Duke?
Duke.
Duke. Coco Duke.
Coco Duke. He's the Coco Duke.
Duke of our
Duke.
All right.
I used to sing that in an a cappella group. I gotta admit it.
Yeah.
Hey, Stevie, do you have the Stuck in the Elevator clip? Ben Drakes would like to hear it.
Do I have it? Am I sharing? Let me make sure I'm sharing system audio here.
Ducky.
So you guys can
Stuck
all
in the
hear.
elevator. That was inspired. I believe Jason. Jason actually gave me the idea. He said something about it.
That's a
reminded him
great
of
clip.
the song.
It's a great clip.
If it wasn't me, it was Ken.
You blame everything on him.
I do what I can. Yeah.
He only blames the bad ideas on Ken. He keeps all the good ones for himself.
No, it's not. It wasn't a bad idea. I just don't know if I came up with it first.
Well, you just stop right there, okay?
Oh yes, I got Stop Right There, my voice acting debut, and I got the equivalent of 2 copies of Nightmare Highway. For
Well,
that,
we have this
that
one
role.
here.
You paid too much.
Let me turn that one up.
You have to play it 3 times. One more.
No, you'll get people sick of it.
All right. I am looking for...
That's awesome. I love it.
There we go. You ready? I'm waiting for my computer to come up. Hello, computer.
Stuck in the elevator. Gotta get home from the CoCo Fest. Stuck in the elevator. Gotta admit we don't smell the best. Yeah, yeah. Dude look like a lady.
Get me out of here.
I could totally hear Weird Al Yankovic doing that. That's really good.
Oh, that is so classic.
That's
so
great.
classic.
So which of the dudes look like a lady exactly?
And then this was another one too that we had after our little thing here.
Oh.
When the
yeah.
CoCo group's immersed in drama, conflict in community, some have found the answer. Sound cards, memories, sometimes software, always personalities. We can find the answer. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. We can find the answer, let it be. And when the group starts fighting, we can turn on that green screen. Basic or assembly, sometimes C. Sometimes C, sometimes C. Basic or assembly. There we find the answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There we find the answer, let it be.
Let it be because
DeBruce.
D's not here, man.
DeBruce. DeBruce. And of course, we got a few things that we should probably thank Alan Huffman for.
Tell me why did Andy do that?
Well, Alan Huffman. Did I say Alan Ladd? Right. So.
Yeah. Host your password plus back in the day, I believe.
Bless
you.
CoCoTALK.
And more Alan Huffman stuff.
The
there for us,
soundboard's back, man. It sounds great.
And of course, DeBruce brought us this right here. Not only did he bring us the music,
played the whole thing,
and he brought us the lyrics.
Do you have Rick Adams?
CoCoTALK is rocking the 8-bit world, keeping the Tandy flame alive. We may be mocked,
Everyone will
but
think
we'll
we're
never
ending.
stop, cause CoCoTALK is rocking the 8-bit world.
Oh yeah, the hits just keep coming. We've got
David Ladd.
That's Alan Huffman.
Play Funkotron, man.
We got our ease of use, and this one is thanks to Nick Marionettes and his core dump.
Play the Funkotron, man.
I will get there.
Oh,
Play
I'm much
Freebird.
happier breaking stuff.
There's David Ladd breaking stuff.
MC10.
Nick Marotta. And then we're looking for Panic on Thunder.
There it is.
For that one. This is Ron Delvo's son making this song here. Boom, boom, bow, dow, bow, bow, chicka, wow, wow, chicka, wow, wow, bow, chicka, wow, wow, chicka, wow, wow. Got a good
Did you do
groove
Rick
to it.
Adams? Did you do Rick Adams?
We're getting there. You're stepping all over the song here, man.
Oh,
We're getting
sorry,
there.
man. Give me the harsh mellow.
I'm looking for it. This
Settle
one should
down,
be
Nick
called-
Marotta.
Thank you. Yes, you're too kind, and thank you.
Yes, thank
You can't say
you.
Nick without Marotta, can you?
That's right. And then, of course, whenever James Differdaffer is here. Oh, the hits just keep coming, folks. But yeah, so that's what I dubbed you, was the king of all CoCo media. Hopefully you're okay with that, but we can change it to Duke, the CoCo Duke.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
Well, if we have a bathroom break, you usually play that other sound.
Yeah, so my. All right, so back to the original question. Project updates, acquisitions. David
no
O'Connor,
flush,
did you
man.
say you had something you wanted to show and or
flush,
tell?
man.
Oh, you have to take a bathroom. Ron, did you actually have to take a bathroom break?
No, but you didn't play the flush, man.
Oh, the flush, man. Sorry, man. All right. All right, it's closed now.
You can't find it.
You can't find it. David O'Connor,
Need to flush.
what do you got for us?
Yeah. During the week, a very special thank you to somebody who is on our panel tonight, Brian, the Music Man Shibri. A little package arrived. This mysterious looking blue cartridge, which is actually a Tandy speech cartridge. And some of you remember I posted about that on the Facebook group, seeing if anybody had one. And Brian did. So he sent that to me. And look at this.
Stereo Orchestra
No.
90.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And you got to have a look at the package. It's got the
Oh, you got the manual and everything.
Manual.
Oh, that's nice. That's a beauty.
nice and shiny.
Yeah.
And
And the box.
inside
You got the box for it.
Yeah, the original box.
Including
inside the original
biodegradable
box
styrofoam.
Is it's got the foam, it's got the
Oh, the
plastic,
plastic
packaging.
and the protector, the pin connector protector, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's a pristine.
It basically looks brand new.
Yeah, look at that.
So I put up a video. I don't know whether I don't think I posted the link. I forgot to post it, but there's a video I put up on my YouTube channel of the speech. I made a basic program to get the speech cartridge to say thank you to Brian
that's cool.
Chubring.
That's
A
cool.
little graphic scrolling up the screen.
And you
Have
could
you-
understand.
Have you played Waterfall since getting that? Because it's much better now.
No, I haven't yet.
Let's try Waterfall.
It plays music.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. It supports the 90, doesn't it?
No, the speech sound pack.
Speech and sound.
Ah, yeah. Okay, right.
Very cool.
But yeah, so yeah, absolute thank you, Brian. It's just absolutely wonderful. That'll be used on the CoCo music album.
Absolutely welcome. I had some extra stuff, and I knew you could use it.
And he will use it.
Yeah, and we are.
This is what our community is awesome
Exactly.
for.
That's what I was going to say. We're trying to focus on how awesome our community is, and that's a great example right there. People helping people. That's a Barbra Streisand song, ain't it? Cool.
No, someone send me a CoCo 2 keyboard.
Now, Bruce said if we want to play the Joey and CoCo, he has to leave fairly soon.
Okay, what's the link? Is it on the Joey Grace Note CA?
Yes, and there is audio, and you need to. It's a video file, so you got to run it. You got to run it full screen.
Okay.
And there is audio.
Let me switch over to that. I think I'm sharing sound right now. So is it this one here, new cartridge?
Yeah, you see how it's kind of truncated there?
Yeah.
You got to make sure you hit wherever that thing is to make it full screen. It's usually in the top left.
I don't see a full screen option.
No, hover down, maybe the full screen. Move your cursor over to the right.
I saw it in the top left when I did it.
I wonder if it's maybe because I'm using Google Chrome. Oh, here we go. There we go. All right, so we're going to make this full screen.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
All right. Are we ready, boys and girls, for the premiere of an animated Joey and CoCo? None of us have seen this before.
You have audio share?
Animated, and Jacob is here to watch this too.
Jacob is here too. All right, so let me just, I don't know what the volume level of this is. I'll put it about halfway just to be safe. Here we go, folks.
New cartridge for Christmas, kid?
Nope, my buddy Glenn down the street and borrowed it to me.
Wait, one of my brothers is nearby?
Couldn't it be a sister?
Get me the serial number and I'll tell ya.
Ooh, that's cool. So now the CoCo has a voice and Joey has a voice, huh? So Joey.
So is this the new direction of the series? Is it going animated?
Oh well, that was just an experiment. I don't know if I got the oomph to do them all like that. But
that was cool though.
That's
special
cool.
one.
Yeah, that is cool.
And then I was like, oh, I should voice it too. And oh, hey, here's the guy for the voicing right here. So
good work, Jacob.
Jacob
Moore. So is this why at CoCo Fest at the auction everyone wants to know the serial number?
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Yeah. Very, very cool. We're just another one of the many talents coming from the Moore family. Bruce and Jacob Moore, thank you guys. Very, very cool. So new Joey and CoCo. We got a new demo from Simon Jonason. We got Nick. Ron Delvo's got Waterfall running back there in the background. Nick Marotta is playing Digger 3. How about you guys want to recap? Because Ben Drakes was commenting on all the colorful metaphors that were coming out of our mouths while we were playing Digger 3 last night. So,
oh, yeah. Video games bring out the best in us.
Oh,
sure.
That was fun, though. That was fun.
Don't forget the MIDI pack.
The MIDI pack. Oh, we talked about that in the news, but since you're here, why don't you give us an update or maybe just fill us in on the MIDI pack?
Plug that MIDI pack.
Plug it in.
Well, there's really nothing too much to say right now since, as far as I know, the boards haven't come in, and I'm kind of playing a game with you guys. I'll be honest with that. I got a secret backer in that, and basically just teamed up with one of the guys out in the community that does this a whole lot more than I do, and I wanted to get a professional product out there for everyone, and that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm playing a guessing game and see who can guess who my backer is.
Oh, I'm gonna take. Can I have 3 guesses?
I'm
gonna say
everyone gets 3 guesses. Sure,
okay.
Go right ahead.
We'll hit it for
Jim
sure.
Brain.
Ding, 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 ding.
Wow, that was an exciting game.
That was who I would have guessed.
I didn't even get to put my guess. My guess was not me.
I was going to say Ed Snyder.
Very cool.
I was thinking Ed Snyder or maybe David O'Connor.
Yeah, and so this is a real RS-232 based port when you can send, and you don't have to bang it. You can send in bytes at a time and all kinds of good stuff. Right, cool stuff.
Yeah. So it's real hardware.
Nick Marentes, this game is saying nasty things to me.
Like what?
You lost, you stupid.
Hey,
Now, Steve, I have a question for you. How many hints did it take for you to kind of guess?
Well, as soon as you said you had somebody help you with the hardware and you want it done professionally, that pretty much ruled out everybody here. So,
Thanks, Stevie.
Well, no, sorry,
Appreciate
Jason
that.
Reichert excluded, and David O'Connor couldn't do it to you.
Now the exclusions.
Did I
come.
say you were a good guy, Stevie? I can't remember.
You can do it.
That's okay.
I redact
Who
that.
said that?
Nick Marentes, it looks like I haven't seen the video, but it looks like Gunstar is Gunstar close to being ready, or is that
It's close, yeah.
very cool.
It'll be ready for CoCo Fest, but yeah.
Excellent.
I have.
How are you going to distribute that? The Gunstar, same way as the current Popstar?
Yeah,
on a CD?
At this stage, yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
All right.
So did you want to talk a little bit about Digger 3 last night or not?
Yeah, did anybody else want to talk about Digger 3? Who's played it? What your thoughts are?
It is
questions
excellent.
for chat.
Yeah, and just to be clear, this is the new beta that we've been playing, not the Christmas demo we did last year.
Yeah.
It is really, really amazing. It's a really good game.
It is frustratingly amazing.
How did you get one, man?
It's got a good learning curve, and because I'm a nice guy.
It makes
Chet
Canadians
likes
swear.
me.
It makes
Oh
Canadians
my gosh.
swear. Yes, Curtis
Yeah.
and Nick both dropped some bombs last
I hope
night.
my church friends don't see the video.
Hey Nick, what's your phone number? I'm gonna hook up on my 300 baud modem and download it from you.
It's well designed. It's graphically, visually pleasing. The game,
Great sound effects.
Great sound effects. The gameplay is great.
And every time we swore, I think it made Chet stronger. He really seemed to absorb that.
It did.
He really seemed to take delight in our pain.
It's like Emperor Palpatine. Release your hatred.
Now, Chet, are you going to have a book with this thing that comes out with a glossy cover?
No, not really.
Okay.
I haven't really thought too much about like doing any type of like formal packaging of it. There are going to be a handful of floppy disks that are going to be made.
Oh, that's cool.
But what happens to those, I'm not really sure.
Like if somebody wins this game for the first time, do they get a gold-plated shovel?
No, an autographed picture of you in those glasses earlier.
No, but I'll go down to Toys R Us and get one of those little buckets that comes with one and paint it gold for you.
Yeah,
Oh,
that would be kind of a cool thing for maybe for the CoCo Fest auction, like an autographed floppy disk of the game from the author or something. It'd be a good auction item.
I think you need to get some little lawn gnomes that are like gomers and put them in your yard.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah, you open up a whole merchandise of collectibles. You get your
with the
Gomers,
little
your-
white.
Oh, what are
wife
those
beater
bobblehead
shirt
thingies? The Gomer
The,
bobblehead thingy.
and those,
What do they make those? You know what I'm talking
the
about.
snot demons and the turd monsters that come out of the ground, and all that kind of stuff too. So.
I really want to find. I really want to see Chet find a Toys R Us that's still open.
They're in Canada. They come to Canada. They got them
up here.
Oh,
Hey,
but that'll be a
Chet,
metric shovel then.
Chet, maybe you can make something that pops out of the ground with spikes on it for us.
There you go.
Yeah, IEDs.
And sell it as a footrest.
An ottoman.
But yeah,
I have to say the game's extremely well paced though, because as you guys were watching me playing it, it got harder and harder. It was taking me longer and longer to get through levels, but you do eventually once you kind of figure out where everything is.
Yeah, don't they
It's
have?
a well-paced game. The ratcheting and the difficulty seems to be pretty decent at this point.
You can get the green slime in the little bucket, 'Cause you got that green slime that always gets Curtis.
Digger slime.
Yeah. No, that's cool. It was a lot of fun, and it was a cool just kind of hangout. Everybody hanging out with a bunch of us playing
That
at
was
once.
fun.
So Curtis was playing. Nick,
Curtis
you were
was kicking
playing.
our
David
butts.
Ladd, I think, was playing, and I think
Hey,
Barry
now,
Nelson had it open too.
Chet,
Curtis made it further than we did.
Chet,
of course.
in the game you have all those birds that are going back and forth. Do we ever see those again in the game later?
Yeah, the bats are found throughout the game.
Oh, okay.
Very,
I remember
very
seeing
cool.
them.
Is there anything that we haven't talked about? Is there anything else we want to talk about? Diego.
Oh, I do have a project update when you get a chance.
Jason, the CoCo Man Riker, please, by all means. And
Okay, well, I know this is going to come as a huge shock, but I have something that I've been working on that switches things. And this has come as some requests from several members of the community. Something I was kind of kicking around in the head already when it came up, and this actually did come up on the list. And that very soon we're going to have another entry in the Joey line. We have the Joey controller switch, which is back here somewhere. Here it is, the Joey controller switch.
Love.
The Joey controller switch. There we go. And we have that. Now to follow up in the Joey line, we're going to have, for the folks that want to do this, we're going to have the Joey serial switch. And this is going to be an ABC serial switch box for the bit banger. So for the folks that want to switch between a printer or a modem or drive wire. We're going to have it has a three position rotary switch, A, B, or C.
Okay.
And
that's awesome.
Do you get milk with it?
It has one more input than David Ladd does.
You get milk with it?
But and for the folks that have the Joey controller switch or whatnot, it is the same size enclosure, so the same form factor, but have three ports for the bit banger, and it's all on the back. And
very cool.
Now, will they even have it together, side by side, stick together?
If you want to use sticky tape, I guess you could. But just something I was working on. Some folks wanted. I'm just going to offer it for sale for every. I'm going to offer them for whomever wants them here in the very near future.
That's
awesome. At my website, cocoman.biz, of course.
Did you go out into the forest?
Multipolar, hey?
Were you in the woods under a full moon, and you mentioned the name Nick Marotta 3 times to get that product idea?
I may have.
Actually, I did not ask for this one, but somebody else did.
No, I've actually had someone that's been asking for this for quite some time, and then it came up on the mailing list recently, and I'm like, and I think it was Henry Reitfeld that brought it up, and I was like, or better known, sent from my phone, but and I emailed him privately and said, hey, I'm over. You know what? Give me a little bit of time. I'm already working on this.
That's cool. That's cool.
So, and it's works really nice. I'm actually going to have. Not only you're going to be able to get a black knob, but you're going to actually be able to get a couple different color knobs.
Oh wow, designer,
switch
designer
it up
knobs.
a bit. Yeah, you can have.
So at a quick glance,
green,
you can tell
blue,
the difference
yellow.
between your two switching boxes.
That's kind of like the Ed Snyder keyboard. You have different color keys to choose from. This one we have different color knobs to choose from.
So you're not just a switch man, you're also a knob man.
A knob
What's
man.
the MTBF
on
those?
It's still technically a switch. It is a rotary style switch.
Oh, okay.
So you got it's still a switch. It's just
This
is a knob. What's that?
MTBF for those.
Meantime between failures.
Yeah. That's just like this show.
Just like
Our MTBF is about a week. Right?
And this type of knob, this is a fact. It's a chicken head knob. I found that. I should have put the red one on here. It would show up better on camera, but that's
Sunday to Friday. Our show is great. Just Saturdays where they don't do so well.
Absolutely. Oh, and sometimes there's an exception. If there's like a Friday night show, then that shoots Friday evening also.
Yeah.
Hey, I never got instructions on how to use this thing. I'm still trying to figure it out.
That's the Wallaby.
The Wallaby.
Oh, the Wallaby.
Crikey.
No, I didn't get one of those.
No, you didn't get one of those.
There's two crikeys on the end.
Yep.
Right.
Actually, I have one little brief update. Actually, you brought up Ed Snyder's CoCoMac keyboard, and I've been working with Ed on getting a custom one that's got some keycaps designed for Nitrous 9 and OS 9. That I haven't got it yet, but he sent me some pictures of some of the stuff he's doing. So under Nitrous 9, you've got some extra control characters and stuff that produce other keys that you don't normally get on the CoCo keyboard. And if you guys want, I can share a picture to show you what the current prototype is.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
Please.
Sure. And then, Chet, you said you were going to talk about the joysticks you got, too. I don't know, did you have those to show off or not? Okay, so I see clear and, what does it say, pause? Clear pause?
Oh, clear and KMSE, so that's keyboard mouse?
Keyboard mouse.
So if you hit Control Clear under Nitrous 9, it switches your keyboard mouse on and off. And then you notice on the top row of keys, for example, and some of the ones in the lower right, there's now 3 characters on each one. So it's the bottom row is your normal key.
Like exclamation
upper left is your
point,
shift one, and upper right is your control key.
And like your hashtag and your something else. And
Yeah, you got underline, you got the tilde
brackets,
character,
caps,
back apostrophe.
Caps. That's like shift 0, right? So, okay.
Yeah.
And then the
Cats.
the at's got a backwards thing. Oh, yeah, look at all these
Yeah,
different.
backwards apostrophe, which actually gets produced if you have the right font loaded in Nitrous 9. And then,
okay.
How do you get your square brackets versus your regular parentheses? And
that's neat. That's really
Can you
neat.
make an upside down question mark?
Well, I'm doing ones that are officially supported on the Nitrous 9 keyboard driver. You could technically add that.
In case you want to type some
if you wanted.
Spanish, I guess.
Right.
I want the squiggly thing.
I'd like to ask
But
you.
I know some people who actually ran Nitrous 9. They ask, well, how do I produce this key? Because they read somewhere that it does produce it. And this will give you the visual cue right there. You won't have to try to memorize all these obscure control characters.
Okay.
Nice. Good reason if you're hardcore.
Now, is it standardized? When you see two symbols on the left and right, is it fairly standardized as far as left would be shift and right would be?
Yes, it is standardized that way.
So left is shift and right is?
Control.
Control. Okay. So on the example of like the left bracket or the less than or left bracket, it's shift or control, and question mark or backslash. Okay. That's cool. That's very cool.
So Ed said that if enough people are interested, he might just make this one of the quote unquote standard ones. You can pick your own color keys and stuff.
One
obviously.
of the product lines.
So that's under OS 9, no? You said, right? That's an OS 9.
Well, I purposely designed the keyboard so that it should work fine. Like the upper left shift ones are the exact same as you would in RS-DOS. So it works for both. You don't need to switch keyboards between.
No, but if you're in DOS and you hit Control 8, it's not going to do anything, right?
No, not unless the program itself under DOS does some special thing about it. Yes.
Yeah, because that's
you can
system,
program it.
It's a system level.
Yeah.
You can program your program can program that to.
I mean, it's starting to make this keyboard look more like a even more moderner keyboard, computer keyboard, because I'm looking at my Logitech right now and I've got like all kinds of shit on these keys, where you have function this and alt that and shift this and
you can clean them, man.
Yeah, I didn't bother with the alt ones. I mean, I can support alt keys too.
That's what no, that's cool.
On fire tonight, Ron.
Ron's on
You've
fire.
been living in Australia.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Chet, did you want to show off the custom controller thingies you had or got, or? I can't hear you if you're talking.
Sorry about that. I had my mic up. So anyway, over the holidays, I ordered a bunch of CoCo stuff, and one of those was a CoCo 3 from Sheldon McDonald. And in that package, he included a couple of joysticks. The first, or the joypads, the first two production models of the joypad that he is making. You can see it right here. And this is a really wonderful device. My first impression of this was great. I mean, the top of it is very, very smooth. You've got some texture underneath of it. You've got, I mean, look at this. You got six screws in there. I mean, this thing is going to stay together.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's no play with the cable, so it's mounted nicely in the thumb pad here. The thumb thing right here is very well built. I mean, I've been playing Digger with this, and I'm usually with the CoCo. I'll usually play on the keyboard because the selection of joysticks have always been very terrible. The Black Beauty is great for games like Cashman. They were really kind of designed for something like that. But when you get into the deluxe joystick, I really don't like it too much. But I mean, this controller has been fantastic. I mean, I haven't wanted to go to the keyboard since I got it. It's very, very sturdy. You can feel it in your hands, and it's responsive. The control is great, and it plays really, really well with Digger. I mean, it plays great with it.
They had a nightmare.
Now, was this one custom engraved too that said Digger on it or something like that, or?
No, but it is serial number 1.
Okay.
This one right here is serial number 1.
Okay.
Serial number 2 over here. You can't have it. Yeah, I'm gonna be hanging on to this. In fact, this one I'm only gonna be playing this a little bit longer, and then this is gonna get packed up. I'm gonna use number 2, and give it a pretty good workout. And I'll definitely be ordering a couple more for my other boxes. But yeah, this is a really good. It's a really well put together. It responds really, really well, and it's much better than playing with either the deluxe joystick or the Black Beauty. Now, if you do have games which respond to the variants in the joystick for for any type of like acceleration or anything, then yeah, I haven't tested this on that yet, but it might be a little bit hard to control if you're not used to it, as they usually are. But but for the vast majority of games on both the CoCo 2 and the CoCo 3, this is a great controller.
I thought you were going to say that you can buy a set of those with the Digger 3 logo for $19.95. But wait,
yeah. I mean, I could certainly see that. I mean, we've got enough room up here for branding.
Right.
And actually, I've got a few notes to send over to Sheldon, not just for this, but to kind of end it a little bit, because there's a lot of opportunity with a device like this, particularly as well as it performs and responds with playing a game like Digger and some of the other ones.
So
because
is the thumb digital then? Is it, or is it analog?
No, it's
is this a slide? Like, is it?
It is analog, but it's fairly fixed to about the 8 directions. So there is some playing. There's some.
So you might be able to get some intermediate values.
Yeah.
You might be able to get some values between 0 and 63.
Yeah. I would count on it being more of a digital stick, even though it is technically an analog switch. It plays more digitally than analogly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you would have problems then with some games.
He said analogly.
Analogly, yes.
I wouldn't want to play Polaris with it.
Analogically.
No, we tried these. I had some of the prototypes of these, and so we tried them out on a variety of different games, and they're much better on the ones that require hard left, hard right, hard corners.
Yeah.
So like he designed this originally for downland, because that downland was such a bitch to get those corners just right to be able to jump over the angles and stuff, and so. And so Chet's probably got a newer build on it too. But yeah, it was I like the one that I tried. No serial number or anything though. So
are you bitter?
Oh, no, not bitter.
Chet said he was going to switch to number 2.
And you can clean those too.
And I like the color. I like that gray color.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's the buttons are very nice. I mean they don't have that squishy feeling that you usually get from them. They're very nice, responsive, and I mean I've been having a great time playing Digger with this. So
how do they look like next to a gray CoCo?
A little darker, I don't have one. I don't have a gray CoCo. But I would have to say probably pretty good.
Yeah. Cool. Very cool.
You got to make sure you're color coordinated.
Yeah.
Gotta coordinate. Gotta coordinate. Diego, we haven't heard from you in a while. You got anything you want to update us with? What's going on with you in your world? I know you were working on some of your software projects and.
Yeah, actually. Okay, now I'm not mute anymore. Yeah, I actually been writing while we were doing you were doing the show with too many people, and I think I'm ready to show something if anyone wants to see it.
Yeah, of course.
It's this this new game. It's kind of like I don't know, cross between a Tetris and Candy Crush or whatever. And so
Doc Master is loading. I remember seeing some earlier screenshots of this.
Right. So you have these 4 ships.
Okay.
And you have containers that are coming down.
Okay.
And the color tells you how much that container weighs.
Okay.
So the white one, it's the heavier one. The green one, it's the lighter one.
Okay. So kind of stop sign colors. Yellow's in the middle.
Right. You have, if you put the heavier one on the too much to the left or to the right, the ship gets.
You got to balance them.
So you have to keep trying to put it in the right place to keep the ship in balance. There's these little indicators here that will tell you to which side the ship is loaded.
Oh, look at that. The ship has capsized.
That's a cool concept.
All your containers have sunk. That's a good graphic there, dude.
What's that name of that ship that sunk?
So
the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you also are gonna get badges if you go fast.
Okay. Fast. Yeah, we don't need no stinking badges.
Yeah. It doesn't need no badges. Come on, man.
Ronnie Chong, you have capsized. Too much weight in the back, huh?
Are you going to have some like syncing music?
That's what I need to do. I need to do some of the sounds like that to find out some music.
I like
it.
Super fast. Look at that.
If you get 3 in a row, you get a score bonus, and some green lights go on the ships.
There's a lot. You're keeping track of a lot of stuff here with all these things.
So is this live cargo, like escargot?
I want to know. Let's put it that way. There's going to be a disclaimer, okay?
Yeah, it is kind of hard. There's a lot you got to keep track of with the colors and how heavy is this going to be and what is the impact. Now, with that red thing on that ship on the bottom, does that mean it's in danger?
It's in danger, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Danger, Will Robinson. So danger on the front. It was danger on the front too, right?
If it takes too long to drop one of the containers, it just falls.
Okay.
Whatever it is.
Okay.
So, and you're ruined. And I'm not being able to make it past one single ship. Let me try to, because you also get bonus scores if the ship is in perfect balance. That means all the containers from one side match the ones on the other. And if you follow the correct color order, you also get an extra bonus.
So you want to get a green on the right-hand side now.
No, is this what they have to do for real ships?
Super fast. Uh-oh, now you need a red over there quickly. Or that guy's in danger. Okay.
So now
that should be perfect balance. There you go. Look at that. That's cool.
Wow. Cool.
Perfect order. And the ship goes away. Dude, that is so cool, man.
Yeah.
And it clears. You got some mad skills going on there, brother.
Thanks.
Super fast. Look at that. Yeah.
I think I ruined it.
Oh, your ship has capsized.
So I still need to, get the little badges that you're going to get here and save your scores from one game to the next one. So your badges keep accumulating from one game to the next one.
Well, thank you for not making it oil. Because that would be a disaster if that thing polluted our lakes and rivers.
Yeah, the original game was going to be a Christmas tree, and you'll have to put the
ornaments or something
like that.
Yeah.
Keep it balanced. But I started writing it like in June, and I said, I'm going to finish before Christmas, so what else can I do?
Yeah.
And well, here it is. It's January. I'm still finishing it.
That's a great idea. It's a kind of a puzzle challenge game on multi levels here, and you really got to keep a lot of things straight in your brain and what you're doing. Jim Gary gave you a wow. That's high praise. So.
And he'll port it to the MC10.
He's saying MC10 version. That's what he's saying.
It's already ported.
Yeah. So.
Just in. It's on the MC10.
Yeah.
Only he's going to use oil.
That's really cool, Diego. That really is. You've done a lot of creative things, like your Furious Felines is kind of like an Angry Birds game. So
good stuff.
Yeah, you're doing a lot of really.
Where is Furious Felines available from?
YACCS.info. Yet another computer site.
I don't know if I have that one. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah.
I can't do fast games. I can't do fancy stuff. So I try to do different stuff.
Yeah, no, it's very creative. And
originality is a good thing because that's something that's missing from the PC gaming industry in general these days. Everybody's doing, the basic same games.
First-person shooters.
Does that run on a CoCo 1.2 also?
Yeah, it runs in any CoCo with extended basic.
Awesome.
Yep. Or a Dragon.
Graphic screens. So, yeah.
So when will it be available?
Ron's asking when it's going to be available, Diego.
I don't know. I guess next month or the other, something like that.
All right.
Is it a 32K required or 16?
I really don't know. It's probably gonna need 32 because of the graphics that are being loaded.
Oh, because the actual P Mode 4 graphic screens and stuff that are also being generated. Yeah, so it would require extended basic for sure.
Yeah, everything that flashes is being loaded in the screen. I'm using the 8 different pages.
Okay, so she's working like a Dragon 32, Dragon 64, 32 or 64K CoCo basically, and any CoCo 3.
Right.
Neat.
And
neat.
what price point are you looking at on this?
Price? No.
It comes bundled with a free copy of Digger 3. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I don't know if Jim Gary saw our presentation where we recognized the community, but Jim Gary was also mentioned in there. Anybody else have anything they want to share? Project update acquisition. I'll save mine for next week because I haven't opened it yet, but I got the thing from Brendan Donahue to upgrade the firmware on my CoCo VGA, so it's some type of USB to JTAG connector or something like that. I haven't opened it yet to look at it, but it gives me a chance to reopen my CoCo and see if I need to fix my soldering for my audio, and then I'll also upgrade the firmware in my CoCo VGA, which I've never done before, so that'll be a fun project too. If nobody else has anything,
I'm about to do exactly the same thing.
Yes. So I'll go ahead and run the closing credits, and then we'll come back with maybe parting thoughts if nobody else has anything else they want to share. You got a minute or so to think about it, so we're going to cue the outro, and we'll be back here in just a second. This concludes another episode of CoCoTALK, the world's leading live talk show featuring the Tandy Color Computer. For all things CoCoTALK, visit us on the web at CoCoTalk.live. We'd love to hear from you. Send feedback, suggestions, even segments via email to CoCoTalk@CoCoTalk.live.
CoCoTALK is rocking the 8-bit world, keeping the Tandy flame alive. We may be mocked, but we'll never stop, cause CoCoTALK is rocking the 8-bit world.
Consider supporting the show with a purchase of merchandise from our retro swag shop at 8bit256.com. If you'd like to become a patron of the show, click the Patreon link at our website at CoCoTalk.live.
CoCoTALK is rocking the 8-bit world, keeping the Tandy flame alive. We may be mocked, but we'll never stop, cause CoCoTALK is rocking the 8-bit world.
CoCoTalk would not exist without the community, its cast, crew, and contributors. Thanks go to Curtis Boyle, David Ladd, Mark Overholzer, Grant Leedy, Bruce Moore, Nick Marentes, Ron Delvaux, Rick Adams, Jason Reichert, Richard Lorbieski, Jim Brain, Tom C., Rob Inman, Mark Bosley, Brian Joyce, Ken Reichert, David O'Connor, Brian Weasler, Terry Steggy, Nick Marotta, John Strong, and many more, especially to Steve Bjork for production suggestions and James Diffendaffer for making my head explode. Please help support the CoCo community by visiting some of its various contributors. A list of resources is available at imacoconut.com. That's IMACOCONUT.com. The CoCoTalk theme song is copyright 2008 by D. Bruce Moore and Greg Sheeler. Mixed, mastered, and produced by D. Bruce Moore. Oh, while we were doing some of our closing stuff too, Paulie Walnuts Fiscarelli had popped in the live chat too. He said he's actually heading out to VCF Northeast. Where's VCF Northeast at?
I'm not sure, but he's actually heading back from it already.
Oh, he's heading back from it. Oh, okay.
I would assume it's somewhere north of VCF East.
Okay. So, yeah, VCF East is in Jersey. So it's got to be, well, I don't know where the hell's up. What's north of Jersey? Anything?
Is it in Maine
Canada.
or something?
Canada?
New York.
Canada must be. Come to Canada for crying out loud.
Well, if it was in that part of Canada, it would be in French.
Yes,
Could be Greenland or something.
CoCoTalk. So, I wish we knew when he was there. Maybe I don't know if he took any pictures or could have streamed any stuff.
He took an
to us.
Altair down there with an ADM3A terminal. He posted that on Discord earlier. So
yes, there's some Discord pictures. There's an Apple One also on there.
Mm-hmm.
Or it might be a clone, but it's an Apple One.
Very, very, very cool. Well, it was a good show. Hopefully we succeeded on the task of trying to celebrate and recognize the community. Hopefully we did some of you guys justice. Maybe some of you an injustice for all we know.
It was good.
Definitely gave Curtis his props for having the best CoCo mullet, for damn sure. So
Yeah, there's actually, if you wanted to see that, I don't know why you would, but if you did, there's some pictures that Alan took of me at some of the jam sessions at CoCo Fest in the late 90s that it's much more prominent than that picture you showed. I don't know why I'm telling you all you guys this. I'm just stupid.
I'm sure I have some PenFest 2000 pictures with the mullet here somewhere.
When you just can't get enough mullet, but wait, there's more.
I call it my neck warmer.
Yeah, Ben Drake says, loved it when the ship pulled away. I wasn't expecting that on Diego's game. That's cool. Yeah. No, it's been a great ride, man. It's been, for me, it's been a 5-year journey. Isn't that what Star Trek started off to, right? It's a 5-year journey.
Yes.
To explore new life and new civilizations and to boldly go. So yeah, it's been a great ride, and hopefully the ride's not over. Jim Gary says I missed most of the show. No, you didn't miss anything, trust me. So yeah. So for those still in the panel, thank you to Mark D. Overholzer for all you have done for us, and to Ron Delvaux for his many contributions, and Nick Marotta, thank you. L. Curtis Boyle for all that you do and continue to do. David O'Connor, thank you, sir. Diego,
It's
Diego.
been a pleasure.
Go. Thank you. And Brian the Music Man, all you continue to do. Jason the CoCo Man Riker, just when you thought there were not enough products with switches, Jason brings us yet another.
Absolutely. Why not? Because I don't have enough to do already. So, I'm just gonna pile on.
The Bit Bangaroo. Did you consider the Bit Bangaroo as a possible name for that?
I'm done with putting a roo on anything. I'm done.
Bangaroo sounds like an illicit festival of some sort.
Yeah.
Like club hedonism.
Yeah.
Come to Bangaroo.
Come to Bangaroo, crikey.
Crikey, yes. So, Chet Simpson, thank you, sir, for all you have done for us. We appreciate you. And
thanks for frustrating the hell out of all of us last night.
Oh yeah.
Yes, that was great.
Welcome.
and thanks for the good idea, guys. I like the Bangaroo. Maybe I'll
Bangaroo.
have to come up with something that will use that.
Oh, of
and
course.
then somebody's Jason will come up with the switch to switch and connect the Bangaroo to the Grease Weasel, and you can switch between the two. So,
oh boy.
That sounds positively dangerous.
Nick Marentes just pasted a ad for Gunstar.
Oh, did he?
TRS-80 Color Computer CoCo group.
Is it a video or just a picture?
No, it's just
an image.
An image. It's pretty cool.
Let's take a look at that. And Mark Bosley, thank you for all you have done for us, and for hosting the show and streaming the show and everything. Look at this. The fate of humanity rests in your hands. Gunstar.
He makes that thing look like a spaceship.
Yeah, look at that.
That's cool.
That is very cool. Rests in your hands. Early 2020 for the and he spelled color correctly.
What's the tiny text at the bottom say?
For the Tandy Color Computer 3 with 512K RAM and 6309 CPU. The fate of humanity rests in your hands. That's cool.
And it will work in the emulators if you don't have a 6309.
There you go. Cool stuff. Mark, thank you. John Laurie, thank you. Nick Marentes, you have been, you're a national treasure. You're a jewel. We appreciate you. Everything you've done for this show and everything you've done for all the years of CoCo stuff. And David Ladd, David
Ladd takes a lot of crap. He's a good guy.
He does. David Ladd. David, we appreciate you. David, we need something enthusiastic to close us out with. To play us out, David, give us some enthusiasm. No pressure.
Enthusiasm? Oh, I got plenty of enthusiasm. I've been using my 80-track 5 1/4 over here with the Grease Weasel, and I've been formatting, cleaning floppies for the last 2 weeks, and I got plenty more to do. Oh, yes.
Clean up in aisle 4.
Hashtag nerdgasm.
Yes. Well, I think
that's what the pens are for.
David, don't go. David, don't go far. But we're gonna. David has inspired me to run the post credits reel here. So we're going to run the post credits, and then maybe we get one more blast of enthusiasm from David before we press the button here.
Hi, this is Antonio Jimenez, author of such projects such as the Stevie Throw Devil and the SD Pack, and you are watching CoCoTALK. 3, 2, go.
I'm behind you making faces. Okay.
Do you have a script?
You're rolling, Curtis. You say whatever the hell you want to say.
Well, give me some kind of guideline.
Hi, this is Curtis Boyle.
Hey, this is Eric, and you're listening to CoCoTALK.
All right, we're rolling. You say whatever you want to say, David. Keep making faces at him.
Station, world, sweetie. Weekly, any computer. Something like that.
Hi, I'm Soon. Playing Dagger like that idiot from the book. You're watching CoCoTALK.
Thank you, David. Now get back up there for 1 second.
Oh, jeez.
Come on.
What?
Let's get some drive wire, TTL,
No,
ESP.
no, we don't need any drive wire or TTL.
Hi, it's Curtis Boyle, part of the CoCoTALK crew of people.
Hi, we're on Elbow Timberman. To experience Coco Fest, you must come. Do you need this? I brought the only working MC-10. I could not get.
Couldn't get
autograph. By certain someone you know. Oh well.
The world's leading weekly CoCoTALK show. Yeah, something like that.
Hi, this is Rick Adams, and I'm the author of Temple of Brahm, Shanghai, and now Bomb Threat, and you're listening to Stevie Throw on CoCoTALK.
8-slot MPI, floppy drive, CoCo SDC, sound speech pack, Orchestra 90, RS-232 pack, modem pack, Super IDE. You start adding all those together if you want them all usable at the same time. Well, guess what? You just went over the 4-slot MPI.
No truer words have ever been spoken by the greasy weasel himself, David Ladd. All right.
Complete with the misspelled banner.
I've never known Dave to be short of words before. It's pretty funny.
What do you mean short of words?
He didn't know what to say.
Short on grammar, but long on words. All right, we're gonna press the button now. Say goodbye, everybody.
Press the button,
Bye,
Frank.
everybody.
Bye bye.
Bye bye, y'all.